come and go as I please! Burning flames!
Evil seal in formation!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again for the Underdogs here. This is the Nerd 3.0, and of course, this is going to be the Underdog Playoffs day, and we have our first match. It's going to be a best of 3 series here, and we are going to be seeing 2 Underdogs teams playing against each other, and the teams here are Dickensons versus Touch Some Grass, a very, very familiar name, I would say, and of course a very relatable name onto the other side as well. But onto the casting deck, it's going to be me alongside. Who's going to be joining me is going to be Shinryu, and we're going to be bringing you directly into the drafting phase.
Yeah, today we are kicking off things really fast here, right, Debbie? We don't have too much time to talk about the teams, but the drafts is something we can definitely talk about. We have DNS versus, we can just call them TSG, right? Touch Some Grass, right? So both the teams, they are ready. We can see the bans already taking place here. The 1-1, Baxia, Gloom, nothing too out of the ordinary so far, I would say. We have been seeing them traditionally being banned, even though they're the underdog teams. They know the meta.
Yeah, they know it. Because underdog teams are the one who knows what they're going to be doing, right? Because they really have a little bit of an idea about what they're going to be seeing onto the streams most of the time. So that's why they are called underdogs, right? They're going to be shining even though we don't know they exist most of the time. So this is going to be their platform where they're going to be showing what they can say, what they can do for us. But the bans are in, like you already mentioned, the 1-1, the Bucks are taken away by DNS here. Of course, it's going to have to be removed most of the time. Even though they have a very remarkable 1-1 player, they really don't like first picking the 1-1. So when they are onto the blue side, they of course have to ban it away. But on the other hand, Touch Some Grass, of course, they know what they are, what and who they are going against. The Lancelot, it has to go. Or maybe even the Yisun can...
Yeah, they are banning... I mean, the Yisun is a really good option out here, right? Because we know Insane, even though the hero is not in the meta, like you were talking about, right? The hero is not being in the meta, he will still play it.
Yeah.
Somehow or the other, it does work. And this game, the Esports is not banned, and you can see the Phobias being banned. That does speak that they want to go for Assassin, along with the Baxia, which is a really good counter towards those Assassins. They want to play that hero, but again, I think Invoker would still like to stick to his Zushin, which he has prioritized even yesterday, you know, against the game versus Yama Esports. So I think that's their standard first pick they like to go for. But again, Debbie, there's a lot of counters, right? The Hayabusa too.
I feel like the Hayabusa can eventually come into play. But the thing is, yeah, there are so many options available for them as well. The 1-1 taken away, which means that even the Hayabusa cannot be coming that early on. But of course, they're going to be very helpful the other heroes here. Look at Iritel.
Yeah, Kadita, the Iritel, pretty staple picks, right, for TSG. But again, the Hayabusa and also a lot of hyper heroes, the junglers, still being left out. And I do feel, Debbie, you know what? DNS, they have the option to pick it out here.
Oh, there we go. It's gonna be the Yisun. Perfect. Because Insane has been playing the Yisun even outside the meta, and I feel like this is gonna be very interesting to say the least, because this is his most of his favorite hero has been in the meta right now. So I'm really excited that he's gotten his hands on this particular hero. So that's definitely a good one at that, and they can even try to utilize it into the full potential as well. But onto the other side, Touch Some Grass. How are they going to be countering this Yisun?
Hayabusa. At the end of the day, Hayabusa works. There are 2 heroes which really struggles against assassins, right? Both Zushin as well as the ISS both struggle against the Hayabusa. But they do have the Kadita out here. Oh, they actually pick it. Interesting.
Okay.
So they do have the Kadita to go in for the dive. But the Kadita cannot time it properly. If Insurrection does not have the immunity, it's an easy pick off, right? They need to just watch it for the right timing. and they can pick off the YSS because he's vulnerable in the early game. Once he does have his items, he can do a lot. But before that, in the early phase, if you disrupt his jungling, if you disrupt his farm, it takes a lot more time for this hero to come online.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that too. And I feel like the early ban coming through for the side of Tatsum Grass really meant that they see how the DNS are actually utilizing the early most of the time. It definitely goes into the hands of Corey Cutie most of the time, and he has been able to find a perfect angle onto this hero, and he's been able to spend it most of the time too. So definitely a good ban coming out from the side of Tatsum Grass. They haven't been touching grass, I would say, because if they know what they are playing against, it just means that they know they have been online chronically. But of course,
Yeah.
the CC has to go. I feel like the CC ban away is just, it's too late, right? It usually
Yeah.
gets prioritized in the first phase, but these two teams have been trying to get their comfort hero first, especially like a hero like the Kadita, right? The Kadita, you could have thought that it could have been the first shot onto that first pick, but I feel like the Kadita is more of a comfort, and I think that also kind of give out a pressure for the Yisensin as well as the Jushin too, but they can actually bring the Purify, right? The Jushin can bring the Purify, and the Yisensin have Tracers that can help him actually survive. But there comes the Hayabusa also, which is going to be a threat for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Farsa does give you a lot of range, a lot of zoning potential, and even the bursts. But I think the burst, it comes over time. If you can connect your Feather Airstrike, then the burst actually comes through, right? You need at least 2 or 3 strikes to absolutely connect, then you can take down the members. But the good thing with the, Kadita is that it can instantly burst your target. If you can catch them off guard, it can instantly burst you down. But the problem is, like you mentioned, Purify and also the traces from the YSS can immune it pretty much. But again, another thing about the Kadita is it's pretty a single target hero unless it gets a good set, with a good tank. If they have a set maker tank out here, it can really give a good thing. But right now, I think they should ban maybe a gold laner at this point, because the gold laners is really going to be a problematic situation. I mean, that can create problems. But they end up banning the Hilda. Are they thinking they might, switch this hero to the EXP lane here?
I think the Hilda ban is very understandable here because they have the Hayabusa, right? You do not really want to be given taking away the Hayabusa. The Hayabusa's thrown into the early stages, and of course, DNS have a very active roamer onto their side, so if you give him an active hero as well, that's gonna be something you do not really want to mess around with. So Tatsum Grass, they really know what they're doing, but the Kufa ban coming on from the side of DNS, they do know what Kufa is capable of, but it's it's very different to see that the Kufa is banned. Maybe they are trying to deny the pick coming out from the side of Tatsum Grass rather than trying to make it easier for themselves. So they're just trying to narrow down the choices of the room position here, but the high loss coming through for Tatsum Grass might eventually be the frontliner here. So they do have a self-peel with the low in order, but that's not really going to be enough because this is a Justin we are talking about. But look at that, your mom's special Uranus is coming into play into the hands of Karikiti.
Yeah, I would say Corey Cutie can do a lot with this hero, a lot of zoning, and there's a lot of sustain with this Uranus being added to the lineup. And so far, the Bagzi has banned. You need something with an anti-heal. The Esmeralda can stand toe-to-toe against the Uranus with an equal amount of sustain. And I would say, but it might just struggle against the Zushin a little bit because, she can disrupt that continuous, hit and run technique for this hero. But right now, I would say the Esmeralda is the perfect pick out here. They can just flex this Hylos into the, roam position, and the Esmeralda can do a lot because they are against a Harriet, and against the Esmeralda, it really dominates for sure, right? You cannot do much with the shield because you're giving free to those Esmeralda for sure.
I think the Esmeralda is a perfect choice here. There we go. That's gonna be the last pick coming through. It's a
swear, you know what, Naveen? I swear, if they're listening to us while we are talking during this draft stage, I'm gonna kick their asses. But hey, it's good, it's good. If they're trying some new things, it's still good. And so far, I do like the drafts from both these teams. It does make sense. But what are your thoughts?
I do like it too, but the problem I have about that Dickensons draft is that they're going to be lacking just a little bit of card control. They do have a damage circle, and even the Jushin can eventually make it out to it as well. But of course, it's going to be a very, very high pressured into the mid lane most of the time because the Kadita cannot really clear as fast as the Jushin or the Gatot Kacha in combination. So they gotta help each other into the mid lane. The Hylos has to be present into the mid side most of the time because these composition coming out from both of these teams, they want to have the control into the mid lane, especially for the first hurdle, because Assassin versus a Yisons is something that has been always out there, but the Yisons didn't have the need for those for that first hurdle more than those assassins, so they might want to eventually have that win until that early game. So this is a very similar combination we are going to be seeing. It's going to be very interesting how they're going to be coming up into the early stages.
Yeah, both the teams with a front to back composition, right? And right now we are looking at the draft one final time here, Debbie. DNS versus TSG, Dickensons, and touch some grass out here. This is going to be the game one, match number one for this series. Whoever wins will qualify, right? Without a problem. But
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, right now you are watching Nerd 3.0, and this is going to be, like I mentioned, game number one, match number one in this best of three series. DNS versus TSG, Dads and Sons versus Touch Some Grass. Let's see how it goes on. But for now, I'm going to be Shinryu, your caster as well as the host. And alongside me is going to be Debbie joining me for this game. So Debbie, why don't we take this game out for sure?
Yeah, it's very interesting, Sindhu, because this is one of my favorite hero into the hands of Insane. So let's see how he perform it. As mentioned here into the drafting phase, this is going to be a very, very high priority mid lane for the side of DNS because they do have the Jushin to the other side as well as the Gatot Kacha, which have a lot of clearing capacity and the capability as well. It cannot stand against the the Kadita most of the time, but look at that! It's going to be lowering down the HP of Phaeton. And that's going to be not giving him the advantage into the mid side. So the mid control, it's safe to say that DNS is going to be having the better here. So they're going to be eventually trying to capitalize on this one.
Yeah, a lot of EXP already has been denied to this Kadita. So gonna be affecting slow by slow, little by little. But again, the side lanes, they're kind of holding on their own. You can see Rain is being so deep into the enemy territory, trying to trade out. Insane, not yet level 4. Just a little bit away from the final farm to get that level 4. But again, so far, 1.5 minutes into the game, no, major skirmishes happening, no life-threatening moment. But Hayabusa wants to go for something. He does find Doom, and also on to Pavan Singh. He goes in with a quad shadow as well as a shadow kill, but does not secure that final damage to get him taken down. But again, the first turtle is still due. He does not have the shadow kill anymore.
Yeah, he does not have the shadow kill, but Insane does have the mounted circle. But onto the mid lane, that's going to be a taunt coming through, but that's going to be enough for him to walk away for Rang. I think it's going to be very, very low to try to contest for this turtle. So safe to say that DNS will be eventually having the better setup to this turtle, and they will be freely taking it as well. This is the the advantage of having a Uranus. You really do not want to go 1v1 against the Esmeralda, but what can you do is try to clear out your minions as fast as possible and try to rotate over to the turtle side and to the objective side as well. And this is exactly what Corey QT has been doing. That's going to be giving them a lot of momentum. But right now they're trying to pressure onto this blue buff from Rang, and I think he's acutely aware, but he cannot do anything just yet.
The Hylos does struggle a little bit against the Zushin pick, right? And also with the Uranus clearing this lane really early, it does give him the advantage to rotate around the map. But Esmeralda is kind of missing a lot of farm due to this invades coming in. But once again, there is a stun. This coming on to Faint. But he would be okay so far. But the farm is not absolutely being denied to this YS's Insane. Just free farming in this game. But once again, there's another engage. There are 2 members engaged onto this Hylos, forced to use the Revitalize to survive, but he still walks out with his life. But again, a lot of pressure coming in already into this game.
Yeah, already into this game. This is a very, very good advantage made by DNS right now. But the thing is, they, for the side of Touch Some Grass, they do not really have a momentum that can try to give an opening or a map advantage or boost advantage even for Rang here. So he's going to be struggling just a little bit, even though he's a Hayabusa. He cannot really fare alone into those lanes. So they have to have that control onto the map so that they'll be able to find some pickoffs out there. And the problem is that they have a Kadita as their mid lane. The Kadita needs a lot of pressure onto the boost most of the time, and so it's gonna need the advantage for the boost so as to get those kills out there. And they haven't been able to find that because since the early stages of this game, DNS have been able to find the control onto the mid lane, and I would say kudos to this two mid laners here, Doom and Invoker. Of course, they are able to find their target most of the time. But okay, Glorious Pathway.
So again, they're trying to zone the members out from the side of TSG, but they're doing a really good job. The Hayabusa does not have any way to go in. You can see both the mid laner as well as the side roamer is struggling, but there's a turtle is going in, but the Esmeralda actually steals it away. The retribution not being there, not a problem, but again, there is the AOG on the back. Fiend this time gets struck, and he will be getting down as the first blood for the side of DNS. And you know what, Debbie? It's even better because for them, it went to Insane, and he needs those skills, right?
Mm-hmm. He needs those skills and definitely a good one at that. But onto the top lane is going to be a 1v1 situation happening. Max
Bot
not
lane?
really having the time of his life. So, Cody, he's just trying to do something out there, menacingly standing like a sitting duck. And that's nothing TSG can do here against him because he's already so very chunky. And the only member that can take him down is going to be Max onto the Irithel. And the bad thing is Irithel has been imprisoned into the lane, cannot move out, and he does not even have the vision onto this boost because DNS, they are everywhere.
Yeah, DNS, for them, this game is going really good. They're not really feeling too much pressure in this game. What they need to do is just farm, and that's what they're doing the entirety of this game. So far, we're almost heading to the 6th minute and just one kill. So I would definitely say they're not having too much pressure, but this Hayabusa does need to just go and mark this Zishin for sure. Not Zishin, the Zushin for sure. But again, there's a lot of little poke. There is a Petrify being used onto Invoker, but it still survives. A lot of damage as well. Goes in with the falling star wound. Invoker a little row. And there is the damage from Len. And he will take down Invoker. Insane. Can he survive? No, double kill already being secured for the side of Team TSG. And they're looking for more Zaman for sort of being dropped. But there is Esmeralda, but not really at healthy HP. And so is Fiend. He will fall from the damage of Corey Cutie. 2-for-1 trade so far, but the Hayabusa still wants to go in. Does not have the quad shadow anymore. He does have the shadow kill, but will he commit? Not yet. He does actually come in on the Corey Cutie, but that's a tanky member. He still goes for the shurikens, but not enough damage. Just survives by a little bit, but not so much. Good luck for him, but he gets taken down. The fight still continues on, but it's just a Esmeralda versus a Uranus. Nobody's gonna take it down like that.
How unfortunate it was for Invoker to just pick up the Sky Piercer and to be falling down with 0 kills already. But it's still going to be safer because it's not going to be, lessening down the stacks that he's going to be having because he's on 0 stacks still. But yeah, of course, you're going to be building up the Sky Piercer onto the Zushin when you are this ahead into this goal, when you are trying to snowball around. And this is going to be the second turtle they're going to be securing. And that's going to be giving them a lot of gold. But look at Insane going in.
Going in, but he does have the shadow kill. Does he get the blue? No, he doesn't. Insane was able to get it out, but the AOG just connected to 2 members. There's Kadita. Insane gets bursted down, and it's still the Kadita. Fiend once again gets taken down. Invoker with the damage, Invoker with the displacement, with the utility, but again there's a knock-up. Esmeralda still being the frontliner, but there's no more casualties, no more deaths that is gonna come, but it cannot be same right now because there's another engage. There's a lot of damage. Salmon Force being dropped, but there's Esmeralda still trying to survive, but Invoker brings him back, and that's the problem we were talking about, right, Debbie? That the Esmeralda can do a lot, but with the Zushin available, it's still sticky.
Very sticky situation indeed, but onto the other side, you can see the Huskars being built away for Max here, but that's not really going to be enough because he's going to be needing that Berserkers. But top lane, Pawansing getting soloed by Rang. That's going to be the one advantage side of having the Hayabusa onto the other side, so that's going to be giving them 1 kill. It's very crucial too because Pawansing already got 2 items already onto his kit, and he's got a lot of damage too, and he's on the way to build up the Holy Crystal. But Cordy Cutie trying to do something against a 4-person, but he's still very tanky, and that's nothing that TSG can do that can take him down. So he knows these two. He's being such a menace, just trying to dive in, and it's like a diggy strat, right? He's just showing himself like an egg, and just trying to give out the vision or where the team TSG are gonna be. So you're gonna be having a little bit of a pause, but yeah, it was. This is already a very tanky Uranus. He can just stand in front of them, and he can soak out the damage, but he can also give out the vision too.
Absolutely. And you know what, Debbie, we didn't see much action for the first two turtles, but before the second
Mm,
turtle, there was a lot of action, right? I mean, the first
yeah.
3 minutes went by really peacefully, just one kill. That too, a bit of overstepping, I would say, that got punished out there. But again, right now, we are just having fight after fight, skills after kills, pick-offs too. And I would say so far we cannot say one team does have a clear advantage, but both the
Mm.
teams at this point they do are going good, really good. But again, you can see the advantage in terms of economy will definitely be into the hands of DNS. And right now they're trying to bully the members, but again, Fiend goes in with a glorious pathway, tries to lock down Cody Cute. He still has a flicker, gets out, but he's being chased down by Max as well as Len. But he's too tanky, he's not getting taken down. He's sustained the damage. AOG onto the back, gets Fiend, but Skibidi, he does not have the rough phase. He actually does, but Max finally gets taken down, and that's one person who did not want to be getting taken down. But Invoker gets a double kill, and that's two members being taken down. The Hylos not really having a great time, and the turrets too being falling really quickly here, Debbie. And the second tier at this point, 9 minutes into the game, looking to grim for TSG.
Yeah, TSG are not having the best time of their life, especially when there's a Jushin having 40 stacks onto the Sky Piercer already. But the thing is, this is why I was actually questioning the Hylos pick coming in from the side of TSG, because they already, for DNS, they pick up, the Hylos, so it's kind of weird, but Rang trying to gamble with his life, trying to get the retribution out there. But the thing is, even though this is insane, he is already level 13. There's no way he's going to be losing out the retribution right there. So Rang, it's kind of a big gamble there, but he did manage to survive, so that's going to be okay. But now the Lord is going to be up, and Team DNS, they are so very ready to try to take some turrets out there.
Yeah, it's just they could not mark Invoker too much, right? That's where the problem began, because Invoker has been harassing the enemy completely. You can see the level lead he has, level 11 at this point, and that's the problem, because this Zushin, it cannot do much, but the overtime things that she can do is really gonna affect you. But again, mid lane in a jeopardy right now. Second tier turret is falling. Already the top tier does stand, but not for too long, maybe because there's gonna be the waves crashing in along with the Lord down bot. So Team DNS, they have the siege here, Debbie. Can they end? What do you think? But again, oh wait, Shadow Kill actually being used really early, but insane! Gets taken down, Max, with an assassination, you can say, right? He just went in and pick up the kill. So far, I think TSG, they still have some advantage. They can defend maybe. But again, oh, wait a minute. They're going in. Rang gets taunted. Does not have the Shadow Kill anymore. Not the Shadow Kill, the Quad Shadow anymore. There is the Zaman Force being dropped. And Security goes in, but he does not find Pavan Singh. And there is the AOG onto the back. Does get Fiend, but he is a very tanky member. He will walking out pretty easily. But the HP bars are pretty low for Invoker. So they should be backing out at this point. The waves are still in favor of DNS, and they should not be trying to push their luck any more than this, because they do not have their jungler. He does spawn, but he's too far away.
The one thing I wasn't supposed to be saying this, but yeah, signed light on insane, man. 131. His teammates are doing everything at this point, and he's just farming like a true jungle does. So it's kind of valid when you are on the jungle. And he did also mention that I'm very, very greedy jungler, so he is trying to get all the crates most of the time, so trying to get something out of it as well. But he does have a lot of going to his kit, so that's definitely a good thing. He does have the farm, but the thing is, but once he already gotten the holy crystal, which means that it's gonna be hurting a lot. Never mind, look at that.
Whoa, Fiend just got disappeared. Esmeralda onto the run. There's a knock-up, but insane once again. Max with the kill, but Fen will get taken down. Invoker with a double kill already. Max 2 gets taken down, and that's 2 members down. Actually, 3 members down for the side of TSG and Team DNS. They have the siege, they have the minions, but not too much. It's just 2 members defending, but the Hayabusa is too far. He does not have the shadow kill anymore. Actually, he does have the shadow kill. He gets the clear. There are 2 members. The base crystal is 50% HP. He's trying to, cut the waves off, but he might be in a tough position. Yes, he gets taken down. Invoker with the 8th kill into his name, and that's more damage. Pavan Singh gets this Clippity getting taken down too with the hands of this Harriet. But again, DNS, I think they might want to go for this Lord at this point here, Debbie, but Cody Cutie, a bit too deep, but that's a goddamn Uranus. Ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't get taken down, but Max damage. Oh no! You see, you get too confident, you get punished for sure. But again, the Lord still really given to the side of DNS here.
I think that was more of trying to test out how tanky he is gonna be. And it was unfortunate that he wasn't able to get the kill onto the ESL, but it was so close, man. That was a lot of damage from the blade armor. So Max just saved himself, saved his life with the husk claws that he built up. So if he was hitting it one more time, it's gonna be falling down with the, because of the blade armor. So it was a funny reaction coming out from both of these teams. But already the hunters strike. Okay, 2 penetration built away by Hayabusa. So this means that Rang Rang is trying to get the damage and trying to get the kills onto the front line as well as the back line. And I think it's completely decent to say that at the early game he hasn't been able to get the farms required. But yeah, it's still a good thing that he was able to get all those damage. But the thing is, insane, he's already gotten the Blade of Despair again. Even though he got a lot of deaths onto his hands, he can try to get something out of this because the Lord is marching into the mid lane.
Yeah, they're trying to get it to the bot so that, it can just take down the HP part, the turrets too, because again, there's a skirmish happening and Doom actually, Array gets taken down, but the base is wide open and I think, DNS might just lock it down, but they do not have the minions for themselves. But once again, you can see Invoker has the damage with the rest of the members. They're dealing a lot. Tons of damage on the HP bars are really dropping really quickly. No more shadow kill for Rang Rang. The minions are still marching from all the side. They are all the enemies taken down, but I think this might be it here, Debbie. DNS get the first point.
DNS get the first point, definitely, and I want to see what scoring, what the stats of Insane is gonna be. Yeah, it was a very, very good game, a good play coming out from the side of DNS. They were able to find the early game, grasp it into their hand. Okay, he's gonna be safe. It's actually silver. Never mind. So I thought it was gonna be bronze, man. But of course, it's okay because his team is there to do all the results that he can just eat the food, man. They can cook. But Invoker this time around, I want to mention him very, very fast here because it's the early stages of this game. It was all falling into the hands of him and Array because they were able to find the perfect target. They were able to be the bully that they are supposed to be in this two duo. So they were able to find the control onto the center of the map, which means that it was obvious they're going to be having the objective fights into their favor. And of course, Corey Cutie was able to do so much with this. He wasn't trying to fight the Esmeralda head on. He was trying to clear out those minions first.
Yeah. But you know what, Debbie? One thing that I personally feel is the problem that, Invoker didn't get marked enough in this game, right? He was just able to freely do whatever he was trying to do. And that somehow or the other, made things really difficult for the side of TSG. And as long as they don't mark this hero, it's going to be really difficult for sure, right?
Yeah. It was I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, it's actually unfortunate that TSG was, wasn't able to find a kill across the board. But yeah, of course, land onto this Esmeralda was actually the knight in signing armor for them. So the second game, this is a best of 3 series, right? So it can be a turnabout because the second game is going to be important for them. They are going to be having the first pick this time around. I think they're going to be trying to get the early game. There's no problem with the Kadita. It's just that he doesn't have a lot of healing capability. So not a healing, clearance capability. So that has to be something that they have to fix upon.
Yeah, that is definitely true. But what I also feel like they had the Hylos, right, to clear alongside the Kadita. So they had enough wave clear. The problem was the gatekeeping position can do with her second skill, the Lantern Player, of course. In a way, they were not getting the waves in the early game, like I was mentioning, right? The small leads or the small, denial that were coming in from the side of DNS to go.
Where is my target? He served the light while working in the dark. Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world. Wrath to quell the wicked.
Life? Death? I come and go as I please! Purging flames!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion!
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia! Why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fists are unflinching!
Where is my target? He served the light while working in the dark. Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion!
Mercy to shepherd the world. Wrath to quell the wicked.
Life? Death? I come and go as I please! Purging flame!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia! Why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fists are unflinching!
Where is my target? Who served the light while working in the dark? Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names, and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world. wrath to quell the wicked.
Life? Death? I come and go as I please! Burning flames!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia! Why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fists are unflinching!
Where is my target? Who served the light while working in the dark? A truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names, and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world, wrath to quell the wicked.
come and go as I please! Burning flames!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia! Why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Hello guys, we are back again for the second game. Unfortunately, the second game for the first match weren't able to be streamed just because of minor inconveniences. But now we'll be on to another game, another best of 3 series. This is gonna be Nerd 3.0. Again, we are back for the Underdogs playoffs. This is round 1. We have 2 teams that's going to be facing against each other into this best of 3 series. We have Incognito, and they are gonna be going against Ascendria, Echelon. They have been able to perform so well last night, especially. So we'll see what they can do here. So, do you know anything about the teams, Sinrio?
Yeah, fortunately, yesterday I was there when the games were going on, and I got to cast their matches. For Incognito, they were very dominant. Apparently, like they won the games pretty easily. There was like not much resistance from the other team, so I would say they had a comfortable game. They had comfortable games yesterday. Pretty, easy victory. However, for the side of Ascendria, it was a 3-1. I mean, so it was a 2-1. I think the overall score. Okay, it
Yeah.
was like they were managed to stretch the game to a 3 series altogether. And in a way, I would say both the teams were on par with each other. So I would love to see, how they would pair up against, or how they would go against Incognito in this time, because um, you know, unless and until the teams play with each other, it's very difficult to say the power ranking for these teams, right? Because there's a lot of factors that can be different for this matchup. So really looking forward to these teams.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting too. Ascendria and Echelon have been, able to defeat my own squad. Hey, good job, guys.
Yeah,
But
good
yeah,
job.
good job, man. This just means that my team is gonna be trying to perform better, and get to the practice zone because they did drag the game to the third game, which also means that they are very, very comfortable on the heroes that they are picking, and especially
Yeah.
Novaria, I would say, because that hero is such in a good hand for the mid laner for the side of Ascendria Echelon. So this time around, also, I think if they want to stick to the comfort, they can eventually do it. But the thing about best of 3 series is that you want to play the metas into the first game. You do not really want to give away those meta heroes so that you will not be took down by any of them. And putting it into the wrong hands also. So this is going to be important for both of them. Even Incognito, they have been able, in another tournament, they have been able to defeat DNS, who are the team
Oh,
which who just won that previous best of three series that wasn't streamed. But yeah, this is also gonna be good for them. So maybe this time around they'll be able to pull something off again, because best of three
mhm,
series, you'll never know what you're gonna
yeah.
be getting. You do not wanna experiment, but you really wanna be serious on that particular game most of the time.
Absolutely. I think experimenting too much can result, in an early disadvantage for a lot of teams, right? And at this point, we're just a few moments away from the drafting stage where we will get a lot better idea about how these teams would like to draft around the meta as well as the comfort picks at the same time, right? Um, we need to see if the cheese picks actually come across, or where there will be some, really unorthodox heroes that might just come out of nowhere. So I'm not gonna bet too much on the picks, but I think like you mentioned, sticking to the meta, to the heroes that are working for your draft, can give you a lot of advantage when you're going for this composition. Either it is front to back pick of composition or the Ube strats. Whichever works for you, you can actually build around and gain the maximum advantage, right? Because this meta is really it's not really favoring one type of strats, right,
Yeah,
Abby? So
true.
there's a lot of different things that these teams can bring up for sure.
It's like a meta where you have to be flexible the most, right? You can
Mhm.
play the youth, but you can also play the assassins. So teams have been able to kind of adapt to that. Their jungle can play assassin. Their jungle have the ability to play the utility as well. So like you mentioned, different kind of composition, different kind of scenarios will be opening up in this particular meta. This is why I also like this meta, man. It's like very flexible. It's also given a lot of chances to other people, other squads most of the time. So let's see what they can do here. These two teams who are into the underdogs, they have shown what they can do. They have given us something to talk about into their gameplays, into their macros, exactly how and when. So let's see what Ascendria Echelon can do against Incognito, because they have the first pick now.
Yeah, draft is already here, Debbie, and Lancelot being the first ban from Ascendria Echelon. Whereas Incognito, they're going for the 1-1 ban. I would say a very decent bans coming in, right? We are used to seeing these heroes being banned most of the time. What interests me is like if they're gonna trade off with some kind of meta in this matchup, but no, they will ban instantly that YSS, which was actually open in the last game, and Insane was not really too insane on that hero, unfortunately, but his team actually carried it for sure. So
Yeah.
not gonna bring that up. No use of digging into the past. But again, the bugs here too getting banned.
I mean, Baksa has to be taken away for the other side, but yeah, we can actually save Insane's face if I can bring in fact that he did not have the perfect connectivity to play the Yi Sun. So believe it or not, he might eventually be right. So let's see what Ascendria Echelon are gonna be setting up for, because Incognito, they ban away the very very safe first pick hero, that's the Baxia, and they also ban away the 1-1, which is a very very interesting choice to take for. But one thing that's more interesting is that Ascendria, they are onto the first pick, right? But they are the one actually banning away those very important two jungles
Oh,
right there, right? So no first up ban yet, but they have to opt to go onto the ban of the Gatot Gacha, which is very very interesting, I would say, because Gatot has been a very flexible hero. It can also be a re-engager or also an initiator most of the time. So take the hero away, get another options on your side. So Farsa is open, Sinukalea is also out there.
yeah, Farsa Kalea. Even the CC is actually open for the take for Ascendria, right? So there's a lot of options for them out here. They can also go for the Zushin, which a lot of teams do like to go.
Oh,
If not the Farsa or even the Kadita, right? Mid lane, a lot of options open. But I would say the safer choice would be to go for a comfort pick, maybe, or even a flex pick like the Patang, which can give you a lot of advantage, right, when you're drafting against a team which you do not have too much idea what they're bringing to the table. However, Ascendria, they're taking their time for this first pick for sure.
I think they can prioritize the Jushin, because Incognito are the one actually banning away the
Oh.
Hayabusa. But okay, it's also a safe choice. first picking the CC brands out a lot of hero already. You don't really necessarily have to take away the hero onto the XP lane, but this open out a lot of choices for Incognito to go for. They have to prioritize on their mates because the two good jungles are already taken away. They can't actually go for the Fredrin right now just because of the presence of the CC.
Against the CC?
Oh yeah, it's also out there. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
the Parsa.
Right?
The Parsa is still a safer choice again. Not too many, but I don't think so. The Fredrin here, Debbie, because against the CC, right? You mentioned not the best hero, right? You can go with you can go for those assassins. Actually, 3 of them are typically banned in this game. So what are the other options? The Joy could be a really good alternative. Fanny, not really too sure, right? Because not too. I would say not too strong in this meta because kind of has fallen off lately. It does work against certain drafts, but if they go for a Fredrin or if they go for even a Kai jungle, I don't think so the Fanny can be so viable against Ascendria. But again, they're really thinking through for their drafts, 30 seconds away. The Kadita, a really good option against the Parsa. The Hylos too, I mean, the slowdown along with the burst, looking good so far.
Yeah, looking good so far, and I think Hylos is also a very solid choice coming up from the side of Ascendria. But the thing is, the Hylos is more of a inactive kind of roam, so they have to be replying to the plays coming on from the side of Incognito much more. But for that to happen, we're gonna have to see what the picks of Incognito are gonna be, because this looks like a contest onto the jungle scenery. Because look at that, no jungles out here. All the good jungle are taken away. Baxia, Hayabusa gone. Even the Dickensons in the Lancelot gone. Fanny is still out for grass. But you cannot really pick up the Fanny into the first place because it can really be easily countered out because the Moskva is still out there for grabs. So Incognito going for the safe route, they go for the glue.
Yeah, the glue is still a good option against the CC, can sustain a little bit damage, and also it's really annoying in those team fights, right? And against the Hylos who wants to go for the front lining, I think it can really stick to it, like mount onto him and disrupt those team fights, right? But at the same time, we are heading to the second banning phase. Like you mentioned, no jungle is locked in yet, and more heroes being banned into that area, right? Even the tankier ones not really exempted at this point.
Even the Fredrin pose a threat, right? Because even if it's not good for Incognito, it's still good for the side of Ascendria. So very understandable. Incognito are just trying to narrow down the choices of the jungle. So maybe they are also trying to set up for the Fanny here. It will be actually good because you already see that CC and the Hylos already revealing where they're gonna be. So there's no flexibility. And I don't think there's a hero that can do. Hey! Oh, this does look like a Fanny setup.
Indeed.
Good.
Indeed, like a Fanny setup, right? Because you're banning those heroes, which does, counter the Fanny at the same time. But I would say the Irithel does struggle against the Moskov a little bit, not as much because the Irithel does have the mobility at the end of the day, right? And they also have a Farsa to counter the Moskov, so this does seems a deliberate, ban to pick up the Fanny perhaps, but even this Joy is open. I think that can be a good alternative. However, for the Fanny there is the Kai, and they finally ban up the Carmilla for the midsection and for the roam. So interesting choice though.
Definitely, because they do not want the Carmilla, which means. Wait, there is nothing that the Carmilla can do in the lineup that's made by Ascendria. But the thing is, Incognito are yet to pick up the Roamer and their jungle as well. So they might eventually try to set up for the jungle into the last pick and pick out their XP later right now. Not XP later, I mean Roamer right now. So anything can work. Oh, Matilda! I did not think that Matilda would come true because Incognito look like they want to set up for the assassins, right? So still, it's a good choice because they do have a fairly good frontliner with the glue already.
Absolutely, they have a good frontliner. They also have that heal, extra bit of shield. At this point, I would say Incognito, they just need their jungler. But with the Matilda, it does seem like they can go for the utility jungler much more, right? The utility works really better. What could be the option? The Kai is still open. The Baxia is not yet. The Baxia is banned actually. What are the options here? Maybe I cannot think of too many though.
They need a dive. That a
Suyu?
dive that can
Suyu? And Lucas?
not good against the Barca. I do more.
Oh,
hey,
Armin.
okay. It's actually
Yeah.
good, I would say. Hey,
And a
it's
grandeur.
actually very solid. Oh, and a grandeur onto an Iristel. If they pick out a Fanny for Incognito, this is gonna be
Done.
very, very good for the Fanny, man. I think
She
the
doesn't.
grandeur does struggle a lot against the Fanny, right? So, yeah, they need a dive. Let's go, Fanny. Incognito.
I hope they don't disappoint you at this point. But the Fanny does really look good out here, if you ask me honestly. But will they commit for the Fanny? Because that's a lot of dive together from the side of Ascendria, because they have invade too. With the Hylos, you can go in for the invade, early invade, and you also have the Kadita to disrupt that rotation at the same time. So the Fanny can work because, like you mentioned, not too much CC, but at the end of the day, Fanny it is, right? Well, you know what, Debbie? I just realized I feel like a lot of teams, they're actually listening to us casting, like they're watching the stream, the stream sniping, because whatever we say, they end up picking up. So I don't know if we might be either godly at predicting, or they're just listening to the stream. Either of the one.
Either one of that, but even it's both of them, it's gonna be good, right? But yeah, it was like on paper, it's a kind of a known theory that Incognito really wanted to give the Fanny, because why else
Yeah.
you want to remove away the Moskov, but it also serves as a two birds with one stone. You really do not want to give away the Moskov, even though the Editel performs good into the lane. The late game is where the Moskov shines much better than the Editel, so they do not really want to risk it. So now with the lack of crowd control coming in from the side of Ascendria, Incognito is gonna be having a flying Fanny that can be very, very unstoppable. And the best thing about the picks coming out from Incognito is that they have a Versa. So this Versa is gonna be such a nuisance into the mid lane, and they can have that control, because we can see, right, Versa and Kadita, the clearance is better for the Versa.
Absolutely, I think the Farsa does have a advantage, and also you just forgot about the Matilda, right? Fast rotation too, with the wings by wings, along with the guiding winds, they can really rotate fast across this map, and the Fanny too. Like this might be a really fast, engage, pick off, get out, and just refarm. I mean, go back to farming again for Incognito. Whereas Ascendria, they want to play for this team composition, right? Those team fights a lot more for those neutral objectives at the same time, and even for the other objectives in the map. But again, ladies and gentlemen, you can see a final look at the draft before we head into the match. This is going to be the game one, match one, Ascendria Echelon versus Incognito. And ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Nerd 3.0, presented to you by Wardrum Games. And my name is Shinryu, and I'm joined by Debbie for this game once again. So this is going to be the game one here, Debbie, for this match number 2. Actually, this is game number 2, match number 1. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Land of Dawn.
Land of Dawn, here we go. Look at that. Early aggression coming in already for the side of Ascendria Echelon, which is very weird to say. But yeah, it's still going to be a little bit of a lead coming in for the side of Incognito, just because of the Versa and the Matilda together. But they do understand that they're going to be having to clear away onto the mid lane as much as possible, because they do not really want to give out the controller. But seems like the Versa pick is really, really working well for the side of Incognito. Look at that. Reaper trying to get something.
Something is just going to be the green tree, but Armor dealing out a lot of damage. But look at the HP onto Electro, almost on the verge of being taken down. If Fanny had a little bit of HP, or not the HP, a little bit of energy, she could have taken her down. But top lane Max pulling out this glue a lot, and Antito, what's this? Amitoj is not really having too much of a good time out there.
Yeah, Amito's have to be really careful, but given the team fights, he'll be much more in prio than the CC right now. But the thing is, Max has been doing a really good job in trying to zone him away, which is actually very good, because you do not really want to let go of the glue into the early phases. Even and the thing about the CC is that he does really win a lot. C does really win against any XP laner into the early stages, especially into the level 1 and 2. So that can actually work out. But the thing is, Wonder here, he went for the flame shot, which I do not understand why, because flame shot is a very, very risky pick. I mean, a risky choice of battle spell, so that's not going to be giving him a little bit of a mobility that can help him survive. But the turtle is already up onto the top lane side, but there's going to be a brawl happening up on top at level 4 for the XP laner and the mid laner for the side of Ascendria Echelon.
Yeah, and seems like Incognito are not really wishing to contest for this first critical objective. Turtle number 1 might be given freely to Ascendria because they do know for the fact that they do not have the best team fight when it comes to this long, sustainable fights. But again, bot lane, there's a lot of skirmish happening. The far side with the Feather Airstrike zoning out Executor, but there's a glorious pathway too, but there's a assassin onto the back line. Executor does not have the flicker, but he's still able to sidestep the far side. She's out of energy despite having the purple buff. And this might just go for a re-engage. No, wait a minute. There's another engage onto April and the first blood onto Pajama Boy. Incognito, they get the first blood and Munder gets instantly treated off. Electro lurking around in the shadows into the bush, but this might be the end of road for him as Amitoj actually takes him down.
Yeah, that was why I did not really like the flame sight coming in. Max trying to get into the picture here. He might be getting stunned out. Look at that.
Oh, he actually gets them mounted from the glue, but Amitoj might get pulled under the turret with him going down there. But the glorious pathway once again are winning. There's a curtain call into 2. They get tied up. The force flickered already, and there is the damage from the armor with his ultimate, but too close. But he does not get anyone taken down. Sustain is there from the side of Incognito.
That was a very good re-engage coming out from the side of Ascendria and Echelon because it was so perfectly on point. Unfortunately for them, they do not really have the required amount of damage that can take them down. And this is the downside of Aimon, right? You kind of stay close together and it kind of narrows down the shots that you already have. So it's cannot, you gotta have to be very, very stealthy on where the fights are going to be happening, where you're going to be attacking from. So that's definitely one thing. But the thing is, the builds are in. We're going to see a lot of potential small builds coming through for all of these teams. And they're going to be trying to dish out the required amount of damage eventually. But yeah, a lot of gold into the hands of the gold laners here. That's, I would say, equal in economy, but the first turtle actually help Ascendria Echelon a lot, so they're going to be trying to capitalize it onto the top lane again. Pajama Boy will be securing the Hazard's Claws, but Tamanda trying to defend onto this lane.
Yeah, at least a good news, but they do lose out a lot of gold up top from the turret. And we're just 4 minutes and 30 seconds. The second turtle will be up. Objective number 2 on the map. And Ascendria, once again, they have the advantage. There's no rotation so far. There's no, I would say no way for them to actually go in with the Fanny also being active. But once again, there's actually a kill onto Pajama Boy. 1v1 being won down board, but the Feather Strike is on the members out. But it seems like it's another skirmish going to happen. Amitoj actually gets mounted onto the CC once again, but she's too mobile, right? She will be able to get out of the side, and this might be too deep for Amitoj. He does not have a way out at this point, and yes, Max will take him down, and more kills for Ascendria after right after the turtle, but they're going deep under the turret. Max really underneath of second and the first third tier turret, but actually second and first tier turret out here, but he still survives. The Feather Strike is on the members, but there are no minions, but yet they pushed. Executor gets the turret down.
Yeah, that's one turret down to the mid lane. This is a very, very well played coming out for the side of Ascendria because you would have thought that Incognito does have the pressure into the early stages of this game, but they haven't been able to capitalize onto the lead that they have. So this gives a much more opener for the side of Ascendria to try to go for more. And this is exactly what they are doing. They're going to be able to secure onto the mid lane turret again, which is a very, very value because this is actually going to be opening up a lot of vision onto the mid side, especially into the jungle for the side of Incognito. And onto the top lane as well. Reaper hasn't been able to solo on to Executor, which is already a very farmed marksman, and he did not even waste it out onto the flicker yet again. But this time around with the mid lane turret gone, look at the engage.
Yeah, there's another engage for the purple. Hylos is pretty low. April, can he survive? He does have the glorious path, his mobility, and he does work out, Fanny out of energy. And it seems like Ascendria might just get back for a second, but the purple buff is still up. Fanny does get the retribution, does secure it, and I think this might just call for a disengage. But like you mentioned, right, Reaper onto the Fanny has not been able to perform too much so far. We are already 6 minutes into the game, and most people know that Fanny is known for that early game snowball, right, where she goes in pretty quickly and just get the assassination done. However, this game is struggling, but look at the damage coming out from Executor J, and he was almost able to take down Fanny. Gets out from a sticky situation, but this turret won't be getting out anyway, but it might just get out by the side of Ascendria as they're just, putting in the pressure. All the first tiers have been taken down here. Debbie, the second tier, are in a threat, but top lane 1v1. Nem versus Reaper still survives. There's a damage, but he survives though by, I would say, just able to just cable away.
Oh, but
wait.
another set.
Abby?
That's gonna be one wasted revitalized Inhibitor spell, as well as a full of the rumor right there. So Incognito, they are losing out the early game momentum. Look at the re-engage coming in.
Re-engage coming in. There's a lot of damage. Feather Airstrike to just zone the members out, or just to go for a defensive maneuver out here. But the defense will be there. They will be walking out with their life, but this turret won't be standing any more longer. Second tier turret down bot already taken. Fanny going for a split push up top.
Yeah, this is gonna be a very, very bad game for the Reaper right now. You know, they did all the bannings, all the setup for Fanny, and he hasn't been able to find anything across the board, which is actually gonna be dire for him. But Electro right now trying to do something out here.
Oh.
He does not have the vision, does not have the Petrify, so he's gonna be just content with clearing. But lane though.
Mid lane, a lot of damage. Again, there's a mounting from the clue. He's going with his mounted form, but once again, they're dealing him damage. They do not care because there's a high loss, right? Too much HP, and Executed J getting some free kills, free stack onto his Sky Piercer for sure. That's the first kill for him though. But the Fanny, you know, he knows that he's not being active around those fights, but he's definitely trying to find some replacement around the map to go for the split push.
Yeah, the split push is definitely the only play that he could do right now, and it's definitely not gonna be good. Oi, a 1v1 situation happening on the bot lane, but that's gonna be a farm up name. But oi, never mind, mid lane turret gone against you.
Got and call onto two members. There's a lot of damage, but the Feather Airstrike drops down. Zone the members out to go for a disengage, and that will go for the disengage, but you can see, right, second tier is at a threat right now. The last one, too, standing in the less HP, will fall eventually. Fanny taking a lot of damage. Executed J finally has his items, finally has the lead. He's dishing out a lot of damage here, and it seems like this lot too might just be given freely to the side of Ascendria here, Debbie.
Yeah, Ascendria, they are doing everything that they could, just being dominant into the lane as well, and they are able to get a lot of turrets from the side of Incognito, and this is a bad case for Incognito here, because they are the one actually having, 1v1 onto the bot lane again.
Can they? Oh, they go out actually. The Lord.
The Lord is going to be bleached down by Max and Executor J. This is what they can do, right? They are going to be very safe. They haven't lost out their turret, the mid lane especially, so they are in a safe position where they can try to go look for a kill here and there, because this is Executor. Bam up.
Oh, but Reaper, can he survive? Oh, he does actually, but low HP. Oh, a little bit of more damage. No, he walks out. The cables actually working in his favor, but he needs to get some kills with those cables right here, Debbie, because he's not really doing much except for the split push, and I don't think so that might be enough for Incognito to stay in this game.
You know, the one thing I do actually hate it about the Matilda pick when they want to go for the Fanny is just because of this. They cannot really be together, right? They cannot be really helpful. Matilda is more of a hero that can do well with combinance with those utilities, right? But together with the Fanny or even those links, right, it can really work out. But yeah, all the builds are set in, but the mid lane is going to be focused, flat down, go with pathway.
Yeah, Glorious Pathway, the inhibitor being the target, it gets taken down. The Feather Airstrike has already dropped, but a lot of damage being placed. The skills are already being taken down. A lot of HP. Nem gets taken down. He finally gets a kill, but Reaper gets instantly traded down by Executed J, and they still have the Lord. A little bit of HP, but it's right now Incognito will be able to clear it out. The waves are not really synced properly, so they are not getting the maximum advantage. Only the mid lane inhibitors fall. The side lane still stand. They are holding on to the holy defenses, but the bot lane one will finally be off. And right now, seems like Incognito, they're still holding on to this game, but however, in Ascendria, they want to go in once again as they have the waves. But the Feather Airstrike, once again, zoning the members, a lot of damage. Executed J, a little bit out of bounds, get taken down for the overstepping, and this might be speaking a bad call for Team Incognito, not Incognito in Ascendria, because they lose their 2 damage dealer and they cannot push anymore, can they?
Yeah, they cannot really push anymore, but that's gonna be the rough wave wasted out.
Oh, Fanny goes in with the cable, but there is the passive from the Electron to that Khadit actually getting him heal up, but it does not be, it cannot be said for April. Hey Debbie, he gets taken down, but Incognito, they're actually doing good. They're actually getting some free kills and also some shutdowns, so that might give them some free gold. Like you can see, they get the Holy Crystal for the Fanny, but Debbie, something we did not talk about much, the Farsa, not the Fanny actually, the Farsa is on a flame shot here.
Yeah, I decided into the early stages of this game because he wasn't able to find something out of it, though that's gonna be giving him a little bit of a downside when he's gonna be attacked upon. So he hasn't been able to find the right position to try to go for those artilleries. So that kind of became a downfall. But the thing is, Bazamo Boy, he's gonna be getting all the found that the team is gonna be giving it onto him as well. But that another point is that he's level 12. Meanwhile, Executor is already at level 15, a big level gap coming out from the gold laners as well. So this just means that the Grandeur is already having the executioner potential given the name that he have. But another one though.
Yeah, but I don't think so. The Fanny would want to contest, but the Lord is up here, Debbie and Incognito. They're again not really near anywhere, but again the top lane, the jungler is being there. And I think they don't have information on this Lord anymore here, Debbie, because you can see Incognito, they're not really making any rotation, but there's another skirmish happening. The rough wave's already being used, but Executor G might just take this Lord for free because there's nobody to be there. Fanny does come in, but a little late to the party. Dem does get the retribution on point, but there's another skirmish here, Debbie. Feather Strike used too, but not really getting any, but Executor G just get that kill onto RV342, and again, they're onto the run. Incognito, they're not really willing to take this fight, but this is what Ascendria they're doing. They're just pushing in. They're pushing in their advantage with one member down. Will they be able to defend? But they do have the wave cleared. But do they have the advantage here? Will be the question, Debbie.
Yeah, the presence of the glue hasn't been doing much for the side of Incognito as well as the Matilda here. But the Lord will not be clear out though.
It does not get cleared out. The waves are still here. 2 kills actually for the side of Incognito, and they get Executor J down. They are able to clear. The Fanny goes in onto Max, but he is able to just jump out from that wall with the help of his second skill, of course. But again, Incognito, they're able to defend somehow or the other.
Yeah, that's actually kind of weird to see because there's a lot of dive already coming in from the side of Ascendria Echelon, especially on Electro. He was able to do so much more, get the members down, especially Pajama Boy. He have been always focusing onto that particular guy. But then again, the way that Incognito knows they have the lane clearance, they have the Irritor onto their side, so they will be able to clear out onto those minions as fast as possible. But never mind though. Okay, Reaper trying to do something out here. He does not have the blue though.
Yeah, he does not have the blue, but he does get a bit of spot out. But there's the passive from the Flux of Oasis already being popped off from the Fanny, but no casualty so far.
No casualty just yet, but it's gonna be a very, very dire situation for the side of Incognito still. Even though they were able to hold out, Ascendria does have a lot of momentum onto this side because they have just one turret to focus on, and the next time the Lord is up, they're gonna be focusing again on that. Never mind, look at that.
Another skirmish, another skills being used. Glorious Pathway 2, Feather Strike. There's a curtain call on the 2 members. Mandar cannot escape. Can he? No, Max takes him down. And right now, Incognito, they do have one inhibitor still standing, but will it be enough? You can see Amidos taking a lot of damage. Fanny goes in, but Glue will take it down. Executor with the gunning down onto that Glue, and right now, 2 members down from the side of Incognito. And it seems like Ascendria, they're pushing in their luck. They're pushing in all, but Jay is still trying to outgun this Fanny, and he will be able to do so. And right now, it seems like the odds have been turned into evens as Team Executor, Team Ascendra's Executor will finally hit the last bullet and get this game to an end. And they get the first point too. Team Ace, they're leading here.
They're leading definitely, and this is gonna be a good sign for them. Best of 3, one first game. Having the lead, that's the best case scenario for now. Look at the Bills coming over the side of Executor. I would say he sold out onto his Wind of Nature when the Fanny was trying to attack upon him, and he actually win it out on that as well. So that's definitely a good sight to see. You know, when your girl leader performs this well, yeah, he kind of like. Yeah, it's actually safe to play that way. This is exactly what they are doing right now, and yeah, a very good game coming out of the side of Ascendria. The thing about their builds, their lineup is that I thought that they wouldn't be the one having those tons, right? Because Incognito had a very, very good early game, and you were thought that they are gonna be having the lead everything in the world, but Ascendria, they are playing so well against all odds. They were able to take the game, Ascendria.
Absolutely. I mean, in a way, we were kind of skeptical, them going against the Fanny without any CC and without any crowd control. But however, they were able to maneuver around the map so well, right? There might be times where some of the members were isolated by themselves, but the sidestepping against the Fanny really worked well. And I would say in a way there were some factors that could have gone in favor of Incognito, but they were not able to, take advantage of those or able to translate those into maximum, comeback situation or even maximum advantage for the lineup. But again, Fanny is the only person with the push from the side of team Incognito, whereas you can see their gold laner was pretty much playing safe. Pajama Boy does have a lot of damage given out, but I don't see, that was nearly enough to win them the game, right? And even the Farsa onto that flame shot, not the ideal choice for sure.
I think this time around he's gonna have to choose whether he can go for the flicker or the purify because yeah, this was a game of purify, man. You could have gone for the
Yeah,
purify and get your card straight and able to win it out as well. But yeah, no purify against the Kadita is more of signing away your life. But yeah, Ascendria. With their draft, man, I could have you would thought that yeah, okay,
yeah.
Incognito might have the advantage, but they are able to play with comfort. They are able to play with what they have, and a lot of engages already coming in from April. He was able to do so
Mhm.
much more across the board, trying to give out the vision. He was almost everywhere, and even though there was no damage coming out from Nem, they could make it up with the damage coming out from Executor already. So yeah, a farm up Granger is a very healthy
Yeah,
Granger. The bullets is gonna be hurting. It's gonna be stacking up, and you
absolutely.
can see how much of a damage he was dealing onto the Fanny as well.
One thing I would like to restate, which you have mentioned in the game too, the pick of the Matilda from the draft of, INC, that is Incognito, right? The composition was really looking good as we saw the first three picks. Then we saw the Matilda, we had some change of mind, right? We were thinking like they might go for something utility out here. They might go for something with a better front line because they have two damage dealers, right? And along with the Matilda, I think the Assassins are not the best matchups. Like you mentioned, Ling, the Fanny, they do not get too much feel from him, right? They're not able to use the guiding winds as much as the other heroes. And in a way, I think that was true. If they had gone for the Florine, maybe that could have worked with the
Mm.
Assassins, right? But the Matilda, not the ideal choice once again. But this time, they have the first pick. They can change a few things up. Not just a few things. I think they might have to just rethink a lot of things in this draft too. But being at a position where they might just, get not get the next slot position as easily as they would have if they won the first game. I think Ascendria, they have really pushed Team Incognito against the wall, so they might just show us some tricks under the sleeves.
I think it was the execution part also, and the Matilda pick just that they weren't that well equipped on how the execution was gonna be because first up pick was a very good one. But okay, now this time around Incognito are the one actually bending away the 1-1. Of course, the 1-1 has to go, and Ascendria they know
Yeah,
that they can play the CC very well, so they did not really want to face it because it's also a first pick worthy. So Incognito right now, if they
absolutely.
can play the assassins, they can keep the landslot for themselves and not ban the Yisensin in also, but they have to ban the Kadita out. So this time around, I'm smelling a Novaria, but that's just my personal choice, man. I don't think they're gonna be playing the Novaria, but Electro
Yeah,
is very comfortable on that, so maybe we might
he
see
can
it.
surprise us. He can surprise us, right, for sure.
Yeah.
But again, two heroes which were picked in the last game already banned from the draft of, or for the composition of Ascendria, right? And this time, the the one still being a staple ban. This does open up a lot of assassins or currently the meta junglers that are available for a lot of teams to pick. The YSs, the Lancelot, even the Hayabusa, right? And this time, last game we saw four junglers being banned away. This time, I think we might see a little less because the Garut Kasha being the ban.
The Gata is much more of a prior ban for Ascendria. They really hate these heroes, don't they? So it's gonna be banned away. Very understandable at that. But Incognito, they have the ways to ban the Baxia, right? Ban the Baxia, get the Lancelot, or give away the Lancelot. No. Give away the
Oh,
Baxia and also play the Lancelot. It's still fine because Lancelot is a broken
will it?
hero. He was dead, right? But now he's
Mhm.
revived, and he's so good against Season Spin. He's so good against Brethren. He's so good against any kind of assassin. So maybe they can ignore, ban away different hero. Okay, they went for the Baxia.
The ban the Baxia. Yeah, they went for the Baxia ban. I think they might have some different plans here. They can just, again, go for a flex pick. They can go for the hyper right now, or maybe the jungler, right? Like you mentioned, Lancelot could be a good option against a lot of picks, but not the best option against the Akai, right? The Akai is one of those heroes that can counter him. And if you play a lot of rank games, then you might see instantly when you just pick the Lancelot, there is the Mincetar coming from the other end. So not really saying that could be a choice, but hey, it does not negate the possibility of that hero being active in the map, right? Anything for winning the games, right, Debbie?
Yeah, anything for winning the game. It can also be a very weird pick coming out. Nana can also come true. I'm joking. Nana cannot.
Oh,
Yeah,
Lancelot banned.
Saber twice. Let's not ban. So Yishunshin might eventually be making its play here. So if they also go for the Yishunshin, Ascendria, they are, I would say, well equipped to play the Emon. He does not have that much of a damage, but he can play the Emon, which also means that it can also come through. But yeah, first pick is very, very key.
I would say the Armin didn't work too well for the side of Ascendria, right? We didn't see too much of an advantage with the Armin, but it was a staple pick, right? It just did the work.
I think Yishunshin, right, for Ascendria? Because Yishunshin, I think, or Farsa can do here. Farsa or Ginny.
Farsa too early because they've already picked the mage. Maybe they can go for the third pick, Farsa.
Oh, unless it can ban out, right? First pick. Oh, okay, Yishunshin should come through here.
I think Irithil can be a good pick out here, right? Irithil plus a Kalea could be a good pick, maybe. Or Irithil or Kalea and the Farsa can be a good pick out here. Yeah, something with the Kalea for sure.
That can go with the Kalea. They need a burst damage either onto the jungle or... Oh, they went for the Kalea Granger. Not the best, but Ascendria, Echelon, they show. Draft doesn't matter for them.
Yeah, I think Executor is more... Executor might be more used to the Grandeur. He's still winning against the losing matchup, right?
True. So it's still a very solid choice. Like I mentioned, the first I can come to onto the other side. I mean, onto the later stages can work. But Incognito now, what are the choices that they have to pick away? CC already banned away. What is good against the Kalea though? Badang or Hylos again?
Badang is a good option, I would say. Even the Bagzia was a good option as a roamer, right? They can really sustain, but the boss scope though.
Very early.
I think too early here. Yeah, too early for sure. The Lapu Lapu, okay. The Lapu Lapu can immune with his with his previous fighter form, but it's just for the time when he's using his Raging Slash. So that's it. After it's done, he can be a prime target. But I think the Esmeralda could be working out here, or even the Farsa could be a pretty good option before it gets banned.
It's a very solid option for Farsa to come through. The Esmeralda first, before it gets banned away. Very solid coming in for the side of Ascendria. But you know what? I like a Farsa against a Moskov. But the thing about Moskov is that Incognito pick away the Moskov so that they'll be able to bring the Purify against the Kalea, right? So this time around, I think it can be actually working out just in case they go to the later part of this game. But yeah, there we go. Heading for the jungles ban.
There we go. Here we go for the jungle bans once again. I think the Hayabusa 2 should be banned from the side of Incognito, right? The Hayabusa can put a lot of threat. Yes, it does get banned. So at this point, I think they can ban a little bit of roamers, Ascendria. That could be an option. Yes, the Akai. So does make sense, maybe?
Well, I think if they let go of the Akai, they banned the Akai and the fighting together, which is very shocking. So maybe
what hero for Akai?
I think you usually ban out the Akai when you have a fighting onto your hands. So Yishunshin banned very late coming through. I don't think Ascendria even wants the Yishunshin ban, because when you want a Yishunshin, you wanna pick out into the first phase, right? So they completely ignore that. So a lot of jungle bans.
You know what, Devi? I have seen an Ian jungle from Incognito yesterday. So I don't know what they can pull off at this point. But I think like we saw in the first game between DNS versus TSG, the Esmeralda does struggle against the Zushin, right?
Oh yeah. But it can be turned around if Esmeralda have a lot of ways to play around with. If she wins
Purify. Oh,
there we go.
Navaria.
Oh. There's a
Well, actually,
Navaria.
Novaria finally comes through, and Devi is a happy girl right now. She was talking about this dude from the very beginning, and finally it comes through. And with the grandeur, it's such a good way to increase the hitbox and also deal the final damage, like confirm hits, right? And I do think it might work well, but the jungler here for both these teams, Devi, what are the options? Armin again?
Hey, yeah.
Yeah.
Ask me.
Oh,
I
export.
don't or the Xbox either. Because just one thing
The
for
Xbox
sure,
is-
I'm gonna say that. I mean, Xbox is gonna be good against the tankier frontliners against the Esmeralda, but who's gonna be getting onto these heroes, the Novaria? You're gonna be needing an assassins, and Incognito were the one banning away the assassins, and it's
Moscow
actually
Assassin.
Ascendria. Yeah,
Let's go.
Ascendria was the one actually with the utility bans, right? So it kind of
Yeah.
came in favor for them. So let's go see assassin. No
Yeah,
more
Moscow
fanny though.
Assassin, let's go. Moscow Assassin, let's go.
Moscow assassin.
Yeah. But I do like the Xbox pick at the end of the day because it is good against the Kalea. Doesn't get picked off so easily. It does have the last insanity along with the immunity, so it's a good option. But again, like you mentioned, the Purify might be getting forced onto him. The Joy, pretty safe option, but I feel Debbie not the best, right? The Joy does struggle against the Zushin though.
I mean, not just the fusion, but the Moscow self heal.
Yeah.
Unless you go in with your electrifying beats already activated, that's the only.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the problem. I mean, this is the advantage of the Moscow, and he is a hero that can go well against kind of fast, and that's why I was liking her in particular. But never mind, because they have gotten the Navaria, which can be a very very annoying into the late, annoying hero into the later part of the game. And also perform
But,
well against fusion into the mid lane side. So the
But Debbie, too much magic. Too much magic
Oh,
though.
well, they do have Executor on the Granja.
But he needs farm, right? He needs farm. He needs a lot of farm before he can come online. So it's gonna just be the early game with those three heroes, Esmeralda, Joy, along with the Novaria. So still too much magic for sure. We need to watch. Yeah. But again,
Easy to
one final.
build, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to build for Incognito here, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah. For sure.
those magic defenses, right? Especially
Yeah.
for Karma here.
Just go for the Radiant, I would say. Just go for the first item Radiant. You're pretty good to go with the even for the Carmilla, right? But one final look before we head into the game. Incognito, they are at the deficit, whereas Ascendria, they have the match point into their pockets. So let's see. This is going to be the final draft for these two teams. And we will be soon heading into the line of Dawn for the match number 2, game number 2 in the Nerd 3.0 presented to you by Wardroom Games. And yeah, just a few moments later. But again, guys, let me introduce you to once again to the class of deck, the talent deck. I'm going to be Shinryu, and I'm joined by Debbie for this game. So, Debbie, shall we take the action away?
Yeah, we definitely have to take the action here because Ascendria looking for the end and Incognito trying to drag the game with their pocket picks right here coming into the picture, the Carmilla coming through, and they do have a lot of stats in comparison to the other side. Ascendria have a one-man setup, a pick-off kind of strategy. Meanwhile, Incognito are trying to go for group fights most of the time, so let's see what they can do about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Different approach for both these teams. But, which one will be winning will be the question. But once again, the side lanes are pretty much standstill. You can see the Grandeur trying to bully the Moscow, but he's doing the same. And a lot of damage actually. Oh, whoa. Pajama boy, wait. Don't push your luck. You're already forcing out that flicker, and too early for that flicker to be burned up.
Yeah, that's why. Actually, it's actually very weird to see that there's a lot of stuff already happening all over the map right now. But onto the bot lane again, Max trying to win out the lane against the Lapu Lapu here right now. So he might eventually try to rotate easier if it's better here. But there's no much of a lane coming in from the side of both of these teams. They are trying to play it very slow, but a lot of reason already done by Electro with the Surge.
And I do feel like this might be again another slow game. Last game we did see, right? Incognito, they did not really contest for those neutral objectives at all. And this time they do have a draft, which is really good for those 5-man, team fight capabilities, right? Those composition that can take those team fights a lot more. So will we see a different approach? But look at the bot lane. There's a lot of rotation coming in already, right? They're again going for that 2-man level 4 down bot, but the Reaper really coming in quick for the bot lane rotation to get the grab, but it's still not level 4. The turtle has spawned.
The turtle is going to be spawning and the Reaper is trying to set up, but look at the falling star moon coming through.
Whoa, a lot of damage already, and there is going to be the turtle going to in the hands of them this time, and there's the first blood up top, and there's more kills, actually kills after kills coming. Double kill for Nem already, and Reaper too will be falling after he does not have that Firaga armor anymore here, Debbie. So I would say Team Ascendria, they're still walking out with the lead. Oh my, wait. That was an error. You can see the passive actually going to the wrong side here, and pretty close for Amitoj.
Amitoj hugging the tower as of now because he's got a lot of seal, and which means that he's going to be getting a lot of damages coming on. Boy, look at that!
Whoa. This time there's an engage up top, but Pajama Boy does have the flicker to survive, but too close though.
It's kind of weird, right? You're gonna see a Pajama Boy onto the flicker rather than the Purify, but we still help him out because this is a Kalea and a Granger combination, not the Kalea and the Beatrix as we usually go. Oh, look at the damage coming through from the side of Executor. He's just trying to go for more.
Whoa. Yeah, B. Oh, wait. Oh my goodness. But let's connect though. The last Insanity 2 being burnt up. Oh my god. Had that, Star Shatter had connected, we would have seen another kill going in, but again, the Star Shatter does not connect. There is the engage once again under the first turret, and it seems like the Esmeralda goes in with the Falling Star Mool, dealing a lot of damage onto Mandar. He forced to flicker out too. Not flicker, but actually just use the Crimson Beacon this time, but the first tier turret will not be standing here. And really early first tier mid lane turret going into the hands of Ascendria here.
Yeah, this is gonna be very, very important for Ascendria. I think this team has the potential to try to, focus on to the objective first because they haven't exactly doing that. Because into the mid lane, the second game around, they are able to get the first mid lane turret, which is gonna be opening up. But wait, look at that!
Whoa! Tsunami slam onto Abhi, and he gets taken down in the hands of Executor. More free kills for him, but again another skirmish down board. The turtle is already up. There's going to be the Joy with the Rhythm of Joy as well as the electrifying beat. Rave's fire already forced out, and they will just stop right there. But no, wait a minute, they're just going in strong. The last Insanity 2 here being burned up, and 2 big resources, 2 big ultimates being taken down. But Amit is still surviving by a little of HP. But oh, Nem, he can find him. No, he does not. He still has to go for this turtle. But this seems like, Incognito, they're really pushed back, and there's nothing much they can do here.
Yeah, there's nothing much they can do here, so NEM will be able to secure a 1v1 top lane.
Top lane 1v1. Pajama Boy, is this the end of vote for you? Yes! Executed Shay. Executing him, but down board, there's another skirmish. There's a displacement. Nem getting too deep under the 3rd tier turret will finally be punished for his aggression, but the Lapu Lapu with the bravest fighter goes in with the final slash, like the Piraga already being burnt out, already being taken away by this Esmeralda. Max trying his best. There is the Astral Recall to get the vision, but the Star Shatter gets blocked by Abhi. But still, a lot of aggression into the hands of Ascendria yet so far.
Yeah, I think Ascendria have everything into their favor right now because this is the lot to take in. A lot of them is already from the Granger Executor. Flicker!
He flickers in onto Xbox, gets the flicker armor down, but he will go for a disengage. He also takes away the purple buff here, if you have seen that. But again, another skirmish down board. There's the Esmeralda going in with the Falling Star Moon. He gets the final slash. Even gets the Land Shaker actually to get the stun, but he still gets region up with the shield she has. That's a winning matchup down board, and he cancels the recall for Abhi, and there is gonna be more fight still happening down there. There's a Star Shadow just missing by an edge of a hair, but the waves are getting cleared, and Abhi's getting chased on the wrong side. He still survives for a little bit longer, but it seems like that might be it. Abhi cannot run anymore, and Amitoji does have a little bit of HP left with him, so he will be still walking away with his life, but how long is going to be the question, Debbie? The rest of the team is making a rotation. Can he survive? There's a lot of damage. No, Electro gets the final hit, and more kills, more deaths, and might be a free turret down bot. But Pajama Boy here, Debbie.
Wait. We Pajama Boy falling down with that snipe coming through. NEM will be able to get that. There's a lot of gain already for the side of Ascendria, Echelon, and it's not the Lord just yet, Sinryu. It's still the Turtle, and they'll be able to wait it out to this Turtle. 6 minutes of this game, and they are dominating against Incognito. There's nothing that can do. Executor. What a snipe coming up from him. He's able to get a lot of kills, a lot of damage after the bird. This is a grandeur we're talking about, and 6 minutes with this much of a damage. Late game's gonna be important. It's gonna be funnily enough, as they're gonna be having 2 shots onto their kit as well.
Absolutely, and you know what, Debbie? One more thing is that the fact that Executor J, he prioritized this grandeur for the second pick, right?
Yeah.
Not even the third pick, not even the second half.
Yeah.
He was feeling confident, and now we know why, right? He's dominating in this game, and so far the third turtle is up. Will they just take it, or will they just wait for it to become the Lord? I think it might be the latter, right? They're just waiting for it to Lord. And Esmeralda all by himself, Max zoning out the entirety of Incognito. There's no way they can go in, and the Star Shatters are every time connecting, dealing out of massive tons of damage. The power scaling have been reached for the side of Ascendria, and right now they're dominating. There's a knock-up onto him. The Falling Star Moon gets the kill onto Amitoj. Max with another kill. The Star Shatter this time. If it hits, it might be the end of road for Abhi, but no, they are able to get out. There was the vision with the Astral Recall, but Astral Echo actually. But once again, the Lord is up here, Debbie, and Incognito. They're far away from taking it.
Yeah, I think this is it, man. I feel like this is a good game already for Ascendria. They're playing so good in this particular heroes that they have their hands upon. And Executor, might not mention him again because that's a lot of damage. Oi, already Max trying to get something out of it. That's a level 9 Pajama Boy against level 11 Max. This is not going to be the best case scenario for the side of Incognito. They have the early game, but they aren't able to use that early game potential yet again into the second game this time around. But oi, that's a lot.
Whoa, Abhi!
Never mind.
Oh my goodness, Debbie! Abhi just gets sniped down!
Snipe from
That's
downtown.
a Carmilla too! Yeah, again, there's a skirmish on board. The inhibitor is at the jeopardy right now. Gets taken down. The Firag armor lost from Reaper. He gets a lot of damage. Executed! Jeff goes in with the flicker. Managed to insane, and he gets a triple kill. Will he get a Maniac? He's waiting for it. There's a lot of damage. Is this a Maniac? It is a Maniac for Mr. Executed J. Can he get a Savage at this point? The Lord is marching down top. There are minions. Wait a minute. This might be it, Debbie. The Savage for Executor, and this might be the game for Ascendria as they storm through the next round.
Ascendria, man. How have they been performing? What?
What
This-
just happened?
Underdogs, right? Are you sure this is Underdogs?
Are you sure about it, man?
Man.
Executor J,
We
like,
have to recheck. Underdogs,
we
right?
have to. Yeah. Are we in the right bracket here, Debbie?
I think we are in the wrong brackets, man. Oh my goodness. Ascendria Echelon with that gameplay coming out from them zero deaths on Electro. Who listened to my request of the Novaria, man, by the way? Never mind, that's a second pick Granzer coming in for the side of Executors. They able to get 9 kills off the board. The Savage coming in from the Underdogs of the Nerd 3.0, man. They are the true Underdogs, and this is gonna be giving them a level up. They are gonna be knocking down Incognito. Oh man, what a good game. Well played. 40% damage onto the Granzer. What?
Yeah. Insane amount of damage coming out of this, and you know what, Debbie, we saw time and again he was flickering in front to get the skills.
Wow, what is this man made of, man? Crazy
Exactly.
good. He's gonna have to be someone we have to focus on. And I think even Electro played so well, right? He was able to give out the vision and increase the hitbox, and but just because of that help, he was able to get the Astral Recall on 5 members, and then the Death Sonata scam win. Yeah, that's right. Death Sonata, indeed, he was able to get a Savage, wiping away the members on the side of Incognito. Which, weirdly enough, Incognito had the early game again into their hands. They have the drop, they have the early game advantage, but Ascendria playing it so well, getting the mid tower under 5 minutes of this game is very, very important for them. They were able to play around it as well. The jungle completely left open, and then able to walk around and push out the long lanes and letting his team stay together. That's the best thing that they can do, and that they were able to perform in that too. What a good game!
What a good
I
game
don't know where
indeed
I
here,
went.
Debbie. Yeah, where did you go? I'm just feeling, a little bit shabby sheep by myself, but do come back quickly. I'm just waiting for you while I just yap. But again, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna be it. But this is not the end of road for Incognito, as well as I think it was Team Touch Some Grass, TSG, because they will be meeting each other once again in the next match, the losers versus losers, because they still have another chance to, stay in this competition, stay in this tournament, of course. But Team Ascendria, Debbie, insane, right? It's going to be against DNS after this. So I'm really looking forward to that matchup
Oh,
too. And I mean, I think they've already set the stage for themselves. And at this point, it's just, I think like the part where we can get to see the match. I think anybody who will cast that game will be super hyped after this performance, at least. And we were hyped, of course. But the night has not ended here, right, Debbie? There's one more game that's going to happen. But what are your thoughts for the last two games that just happened?
Ascendria. I mean, don't give the Granger, man. Don't give the Granger and you'll be good. Or even the Novaria too, because their jungler is very, very good on the way he's playing. So let's see what they can do here. That's what I would say. But I think we should be shining our right, because the new caster, your favorite caster, is going to be playing and not playing. They're going to be
Yeah, they will be
casting
playing.
the next game. Or they will play.
Yeah, they will be playing with the words. They
Game
will be
also.
playing with the words. Yeah, they will be playing with the words for the next casting gig, of course, right, Debbie?
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's wait for them to come back. So we're going to be
yeah,
taking a short break, and we'll be coming back for Incognito versus Touch Some Grass. Bye.
yeah. Do stay tuned, guys, and we'll be back in a jiffy.
Where is my target? Who served the light while working in the dark? Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names, and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? Who serves the light while working in the dark?
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world, wrath to quell the wicked.
Life, death, I come and go as I please! Purging flame!
Evil seal in formation.
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia, why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fights are meaningless! Now Karthus goes first!
Where is my target? He served the light while working in the dark. Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names, and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world, wrath to quell the wicked.
Life? Death? I come and go as I please! Purging flames!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia! Why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fists are unflinching!
Where is my target? Who served the light while working in the dark? Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names, and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? Who serves the light while working in the dark?
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world, wrath to quell the wicked.
Life? Death? I come and go as I please! Purging flame!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
I see through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia! Why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fists are unflinching!
Where is my target? served the light while working in the dark. Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names, and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world, wrath to quell the wicked.
Life, death, I come and go as I please! Burning flames!
Evil seal in formation!
We are one! Wrath descends!
Get swept by the flames!
Through your illusion.
Silence your grudge. Death will be their enlightenment.
Ixia, why don't you let me take point this time?
Awake now, X-Borg? Don't push yourself too hard.
I thought I was crazy, but you're a whole different beast, Roger!
Cease this, X-Borg. We only use our powers against the supernatural.
Fists are unflinching!
Good evening and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to, of course, NUT 3.0 Northeast Underdogs Tournament. And, of course, we are here at the main thing, after all, the underdog teams duking it out against each other. We've already had 2 matches and 2 teams have already qualified for the next rounds. And right now, the ones fighting are the losers, the teams that could not make it. And this is their last-ditch effort. The loser of first match and the loser of the second match are going to be duking it out against each other. And of course, this one, though, will not get a second chance and they will be eliminated out of the competition. And right now, we're already into the draft because, of course, we want to make sure that we don't delay anything anymore. And we're going to be getting into the game between Incognito and TSG, Touch Some Grass. So we'll see how they fare against each other. Anyways, intercasting this, myself, I'm Ray, and I'm joined by, of course, Fred over here. He's going to be remaining static and looking at you guys a little bit like downward. But anyways, Fredo, it's the Underdogs back again. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, underdogs are always interesting because you do not know what to expect, right? These guys, they have all sort of strategies from rank game strategies to brawl strategies. So, not really. No, I mean, we can never be sure what to expect. I mean, sometimes they turn out to be playing like even the top dogs as well, you know. But sometimes they play like those rank games, play like brawl sometimes. So yeah, not really sure of what to expect. But looking at the bans happening right now, they're definitely aware of what the meta is. Seems like.
Hmm. Yeah, at least so far, they're gonna be banning out the Lancelot and the 1-1, most likely a Yushin Shin or maybe a Farsa ban should be coming in. We'll see. I did hear about an Amon though, so hopefully no Amon this time around, and they go all serious mode because this best of 3 series it's a do or die because they're out of the competition. Maybe beforehand they were holding back like, hey, maybe you will get a second chance, but right now they won't get it anymore. You know, it. Holy hell! Is this the first time, or is this been a thing, or is this a playoff thing? I just noticed the lion, the mythical creature, as well as the pillars are moving. Is this been a day one thing? I feel like not. I feel like this is new.
No, it is of course. It is of course because it is the playoffs, so we are making things interesting here.
They started to move, so you stopped moving. you sacrificed your movement.
I gave my movement to them.
Fredo stopped moving so they can move. Crazy stuff. But yeah, the draft is happening so far. Yeah, typical meta picks, nothing out of the ordinary. Okay, a Karita ban, all meta so far. Interested to see what Incognito would be doing. You know, Fredo, we actually casted for Incognito earlier in a different tournament. That's very funny. Like literally same day, right? But yeah, let's see how that game wasn't that bad, but let's see how they fare against the side of TSG. Last ban coming in. What do you think? Any guesses?
I think it could be a goal lane. Okay. It feels like they want to go for an assassin. Fanny. Not really I'm not really sure. Yeah, maybe research. Yeah, maybe there is a player. And I know the jungler of the side of Incognito is the Reaper, but I'm not really sure if the Reaper is actually a great Fanny player or not. I do know that he's a good Lancelot player, so they do ban out the Lancelot. And first pick CC is the most common thing these days, you know. They always go for the first pick CC every single time. But I think there can also be, you know, a little bit more creativity in this first pick. They can go for something else like the Farsa actually, because the thing is they banned out the Kadita, right? So they do want to get their hands on the Farsa as soon as they can. But instead of doing that, they pick up the CC here.
It just feels like she's. This is one of the things I kinda dislike about MPL and Pro League tournaments. It's just that this is one of the things, it limits creativity. People just follow the hype train, that's the thing. It's I always, that's why I love when teams don't follow the hype train. I was one of them and people called me noob. But anyways, TSG going for the Zushin. I'm really happy at least a Zushin is visible. Finally getting to cast for a Zushin. Man, it's been a while. I know she was visible in the last game as well, but I didn't get to cast it. And a huge shout out to you guys for covering all those games. Obviously being the most active casters in 3.0 this time around. Of course, I mean, Debbie has been in this one since season 1, right? She's an amazing analyst. But anyways, we can glaze the casters anytime later on, right, Fedo? In some podcast or something we might do. But for now, let's just focus into the game and what is Incognito going to be cooking, because Hayabusa is still open and the Reaper did play a Hayabusa earlier today, so maybe he can just go for the Hayabusa. Not to mention the Hayabusa is also a solid counter for the Zushin. What is that? Kimi. I mean, Kimi has poke, but she can easily be picked up by Zushin just going for a Crimson Beacon. Just like I told you, Hayabusa no-brainer. I don't think they should have just banned out the Hayabusa instead of the Arlot if they're like respecting the Reaper's Fanny so much. Why not just ban out the Haya as well and just close the chapter, I do think they should have just banned the Hayabusa, because right now Hayabusa will create some issues.
Exactly. We know that the Hayabusa is only one of those assassins other than the Fanny which can deal with the Zushin, right? Because most of them just get picked up and thrown around before they can do something. So yeah, the Hayabusa, natural counter for the Zushin here, will be getting picked. Good draft so far, it seems like, but it will all come down to execution in the end. Won't be surprised though if you're seeing another Ammon jungle, but I'm not really looking forward to it.
Amon will just get... Oh, thank God, it's a Yushin Shin. Nice. They're going all in. Love to see it. a really good draft on both ends, except for the Kimi. It's a little bit weird because the Zushin can easily come in and like pick her up, and I mean she can purify it once, but Zushin will pick up twice. And Kimi is very squishy; she will get taken down by Zushin really easily. And once you're CC'd, Kimi can't really shoot back, so but Zushin can. So that's why it's a little bit of a like for me, I can't really describe it, but you get the point. But hopefully. I mean, of course, we get to judge the draft because the draft is just like you mentioned earlier today that this is a chess game. So when you make a bad move into chess, maybe the execution will be better, but still, it does affect something. But overall, huge shout out to the production at Wardroom Games. Like, I love the. My attention is actually on them. The two mystical lions on top, like them blinking and moving. It's really cool. It feels like they're actually staring at both of us. Like this one. No, this one is staring at me, and this one is staring at you.
Looks like that. And with that, into the second phase already, and we're seeing Carmilla getting banned here, reducing the teamfight potential coming in from Incognito's side, and we see that the macro potential from the other side of Incognito has been reduced as well with this Moskov ban. Because, I mean, you do not want to give away a Moskov along with a Yisun Shin, right? That's just way too much information. And way too much macro pressure being created on your teammates. So yeah, the Moscow ban is kind of good. But now the Granger still remains open, and so does the Editor.
Yeah, both of the marksmen are going to be left out open. Kimi is of course no longer a gold laner option after the nerf. She's pure mid laner right now. So of course the gold laners are open. The one thing that I know the Carmilla ban isn't bad, but they do have the Gatot, and putting him against the CC would like bully the Gatot really much. But I don't know why not many people, but Zushin and Carmilla is really good, because if Carmilla can connect, doesn't have to be 5. If Carmilla can connect 3 people, that Zushin can just pick up 1 and the rest 3 will get picked up too. It's a very good textbook combo that I've seen being executed in India, like in major tournaments at least. I'm not sure about the smaller ones, but major tournaments, only like 2 or 3 times I can count it in my hand. I don't know why not many people go for, because Carmilla in general is not that hard. Like, you just need to make sure they're kind of gathered together, which is not that hard to do late game. But I do understand the thing that Carmilla really lacks, it's that early game. She's really weak in the early game, not tanky. She's basically a support, so you don't get a frontliner, so you'll have to deny. Oh, looks like we're not going to go for the physical. It's going to be the Harith. And against the Harith, a Nathan should be coming in 100%, because against the magic, you need another magic, right? Because if you pick up a physical, you can't play the Wind of Nature. You're going to be suffering a lot. The Rose Gold will save you once, not twice.
Exactly. So that's the reason.
Okay.
Oh, actually, Melissa getting picked here from the side of Incognito. Really good picks coming up, even though we know the S tier marksman in the current meta, which is going to be the Irithel, remains open still, but no one decides to pick it. Okay, there it comes, Incognito revealing their true nature, of course, with this Franco pick. Now, do you hook your enemy or do you hook your teammates' buff? What do you do? Very interesting. Let's find out.
Yeah, so far Incognito, their first 3 picks, I mean, except for the Kimi, it was looking good. But right now, with these 2 picks, I do think their draft is looking severely weak, because like Melissa takes a lot of time to scale up. Even then, if she scales up, Zushin can easily pick her up, even inside her domain, so she can't really exactly do anything. Not to mention the Gatot Kacha with the Vengeance is just an easy counter for her as well. Not to mention the Harith also doesn't really care about the domain, because first of all, his magic, so Wind of Nature, is not going to be working. Second thing, Harith has sufficient enough range with the Synchro as well as the Zaman Force, and he can just burst her inside her domain. So her domain is not going to be working against anyone in this basically composition. And the only thing it can work against is the Lapu Lapu and the Yushin Shin. Not even the Yushin Shin, because the Yushin Shin has a bow. So he'll also hit her outside from the domain. And even Lapu can hit her outside from the domain, because Lapu doesn't need to get close. He can just bonk you from the outside. So yeah, Melissa is honestly
when you use the final slash of the bravest fighter, you're actually immune. So I don't think the Melissa's ult actually affects the Lapu Lapu that much. So it's going to be.
Affects, his skill is too big. Like, it's really big. Yeah. He'll just bonk her from long range.
Exactly. That's why it's so difficult in this matchup. I feel like Tatsam Grass does have the advantage with their draft as well. It's looking good. I think the Lapu Lapu pick could have been much earlier, but I guess they did not decide. They decided not to rush it. I think the Yisun Shin could have been picked up later. A lot of things could have happened, but right now we are at the end of the drafting stage. The heroes are already locked in, and we're going to see the showdown tonight in this knockout. Of course, the one who loses this goes out of the tournament. No more second chances, as this is the lower bracket. So yeah, Incognito versus Touch Some Grass. Only one of them will move forward in this best of 3 series. And right now, looking at the draft, Incognito do not really seem to be having the upper hand in this match.
Hopefully they can bring it up with their execution. I'd love to see Melissa actually win. I'm actually rooting for the underdog. The underdog square, maybe, because their draft is a little bit I'm a little bit skeptical because it's very unorthodox. But damn, a huge shout out to production at Wardrum Games. They have been stepping it up from all the way from season 1. That is amazing. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's not a good night yet. It's still good evening because we're still into the game. It's gonna be the last match of tonight as we head into the lower brackets between the side of Touch Some Grass and Incognito. The draft does look a little bit unorthodox into the hands of Incognito, but let's see if they can make a better execution. But at the same time, Touch Some Grass, they have a promising draft, and the draft does matter 80% of the time. Let's see how good the execution is going to be. Both of them have been fallen from the upper brackets of the top 4 of Underdogs. Let's see how good they do against each other. Anyways, casting is of course myself, Ray, and I'm joined by Fredo. So Fredo, let's see what's going to happen into this game. You want to take up the PvP?
Yeah, we'll definitely do so. And with that, Zushin rotating towards the EXP lane, actually providing some assistance to the Lapu Lapu, who will be actually facing some issues. As we all know, the poke and the shred of the CC does kind of annoy in the early game. Okay, seems like they want to gank right now. Touch Some Grass going in. Incognito, aware of the presence of their trio, but now it comes in that Iron Hook actually. Very good there from Abhi. That was a nice hook actually.
Yeah, I mean, Franco picked up, most likely he is confident that he's going to be able to make it, right? Turtle actually goes into the hands of the Reaper. Look at that, Fredo. Do they go in?
There is a traction pulse coming in as well. There will be something happening, but nobody goes down. But they go in with the flicker, and the bomb comes in as well. Bravest fighter being used, and the heavy sword still up though. But that will be just the Franco getting taken down.
A 1-for-1 trade. The Franco gets taken down at the price of the jungler. So Incognito got the upper hand. Not to mention they even got the turtle. So looking, 69 gold by a minion. I see developers. You're cooking. But yeah, 1-for-1 score, 3 minutes. Not much goal difference just yet because of course it was just the first one. So with it, I think unless we see a snowball happening with a few kills into the board, I think it's still a 50-50 game. Nothing's much happening just yet. We'll have to wait until the second turtle, I believe.
Definitely. Still no sign of advantage being shown by any of the sides. The Franco does have that Bloody Hand available right now, so pickoffs might be coming in at any moment right now. But it seems like it might be the Lapu Lapu who might be in some trouble, as the Franco is on the EXP side, and for some reason the Lapu Lapu seem to have jumped in with the bravest fighter. The Zushin decides to go in as well, and there it comes the AOG. A lot of skills got missed out. Traction pulse pulls back that Gatot Kacha, but there it comes. The Bloody Hunt will be coming in. Will he be able to survive this? Does not seem like. Does pop out the Revitalize as well. Taunts a few members. They do not have their ultimates available, so they'll be on falling this time. Franco goes down, but now the Winston comes in and he crashes that fleet of his. The boat has been crashed, and with that he takes down one more.
I actually don't know the second phase of these ultimate. Is it still called Mountain Shocker? I mean, the vision thing, it is called Mountain Shocker. Back then, it used to deal damage, right? But then the damage got transferred to that one thing, Is it still called Mountain Shocker? I haven't checked, actually. I'll have to check that out. I know it's Mountain Shocker, the ult. But what's the second phase called? I'll check it out. But anyways, 3-4-3 score, right? Okay, it's pretty equal. The gold is also equal, but the first turtle obviously into the hands of the Reaper. Let's see. I love the name of Zushin. Look at that.
What is the CC thinking? And I don't even know what the Harry was thinking as well. But CC was able to survive. The Harry did not though. And oh my god, the bravest fighter sustaining so much damage. Traction pulse as well. The frontliners are taking a lot of hits, and it will be the Lapu Lapu falling down first.
Okay.
And another one will fall, which will be the Gatot falling into the hands of the Melissa, and that shows. Oh, he does still have the Oogie Shadow kill. It's a shutdown secured and a killing spree.
Oh, damn.
Even with the draft not being in their favor, Incognito have been able to turn things around for themselves and touch some grass. They need to touch
Might
some
have
grass.
to touch some grass, yeah. Because they might get out of the competition if they don't commit to it. Because holy hell, what was that? Because 8-4 score, 3,000 gold already. I think it was a combination of all of their skills combination. First of all, the Melissa connecting with her puppet, not to mention the traction pulse, like bringing in people together. It really helped them to gather the enemies, and Melissa was able to dish out the 100% of the damage. And because, I mean, yes, Melissa is not the best, but when you give her chance to free hit, any marksman when they're free hitting, they're gonna hurt you. It doesn't matter what marksman it is, right? You don't want them to be free hitting. So I think they kind of underestimated, just like, you know, we did not underestimate. It's more of the sense it's an unorthodox draft. TSG, they kind of underestimated and they let it go. Oh, the hook, damn, dodged it out. But overall, yeah, they gotta take it serious and they have to make sure to shut down the Hayabusa. But overall, let's see, a lot of damage.
Lapu deep trouble. He should not have jumped front. He should have jumped behind actually. And now the Zushin will be going down as well. And for some reason, Gatot Kacha realizes he's in some danger. So he'll be backing off as well. And now things are looking in favor and in control. Like you said, Ray, the second turtle will be the turning point, and it is the turning point. Incognito are in lead right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And with it, oh, they're still poking in a lot. They have already built up the snowball, and with a Hayabusa like that, I think the side of Touch Some Grass will have to come up with a better response. If not, I'm not sure what they can really do, because right now they have basically lost their bot turret, mid turret, top turret, every turret. Oh no, mid turret is still there. The Zushin was hiding it.
Hayabusa.
Oh, what's happening here?
Hayabusa gets a monster kill on the far side of the map, and now their team fight is broken out. Traction Pulse takes down Finn, that Gatot Kacha. They're zoning away the Yisun Shin from his red buff, and now Yisun Shin might be falling, but he still survives. Two people's pick up and shown by Skibidi, Phaeton. But it's still not enough. But now the Zushin for some reason is trying to deal with 4 members alone who are trying to push down a lane. Finally gives up that turret though. But that is another structure gone from the map for the side of Touch Some Grass, and things are not looking good at all. Now the focus will be shifted to the mid lane. Let's see if they can defend it.
Absolutely right. And 12-4 score, and it's I'm trying to look for if they can find any window, but oh, looks like the mid pressure is going to be coming. Traction Pulse, AOG as well.
And now they jump in with the bravest fighter. Oogie Shadow Kill is dealing a huge amount of damage. Godlike secure, and with that, Pajama Boy decides to step inside the turret, gets a kill onto Mr. Faint. And with that, they sacrifice 2 members to protect that mid lane. But is it enough? Is it a good trade? What do you think, Ray? That's not even a trade, actually. That's just giving kills to the enemy.
Yeah, it's not a trade. It's because that's just a rumor. So it's not looking good for the hands of course, TSG. And they have a massive 8,000 gold lead in 8 minutes. That's 1,000 gold per minute. That's just insane. Every member basically is getting 200 gold per minute, and that's basically 1 kill for every member. That's not looking good. That's heavy snowball, but look at them. They still want to go in again, but they don't find any angle just yet.
The knockoff from the Lord did not really help them. And the connection, my goodness. Those are good connections from the side of Incognito. Pajama Boy gets a double. The Reaper in the backlines gets 1 more down. And with that, 3 member falling. There is no way Touch Some Grass can contest this Lord. It's Incognito who will be taking this one for sure.
Easy Lord for them, easy pickings, and 70-5. 9,000 gold lead, 9 minutes, basically, just like I said. Every minute is 1,000 gold. And that is just massive. Look at the damage is there. Curtain Call will also be there, but they are not going to be able to dish out just yet. Despite the fact that this was an unorthodox Zox, maybe my support for the underdog did work out.
Yep, seems like the best job does not always work. The best execution does, and that is what Incognito have done better. Traction Pulse pulls, and with that it connects the hook, and with that the Bloody Hand comes in as well, but the picked up and thrown down by the Lantern Flare of the Zushin will be able to turn things around, it seems, as the Hayabusa misses but gets that kill onto the Zushin. Just one member remaining now. And it should be game over here for Incognito. Sorry, for the side of Touch Some Grass, unless a miracle can happen.
What miracle can they really do? Because right now the marksman is not exactly able to do anything. Max is just really struggling. And as a Harith, you need a window, and they're not getting the window at all. And if he does try to, Franco will just bloody hunt him. That's the main factor. I think that Franco was, funny enough, a strategic pick by looks of it. Oh, look at the damage. Harith just got poked out of it.
Yep, and now they're trying to go for this mid lane. Oh, Hayabusa goes in with Yugi. Shadow kill gets that Eastern Shin down. Now they're locking down the mid lane. Mid lane will definitely fall. They're looking for more structures across the map. And look at the amount of damage that this Melissa is dealing right now. It's really troublesome for the enemy. The Lapu Lapu and Gatot Kach are facing problems. And now enemy might face problems too. The Harith goes down first. Double kill for the Hayabusa. Could be a maniac, but the Franco does not give him. But of course, Incognito have won this match very easily against Touch Some Grass.
And with it, looks like the side of Incognito will be getting this game on their hands. And man, THG, despite the fact that they had kind of a better draft, it just did not work out into their favor.
I hate one-sided games. I hope they come up with a better competition next time.
Yeah, I think the draft was not an issue in any way. I do think though, giving out that Hayabusa was kind of like a bad decision. Like you're banning out, like you see, you banned out the Lancelot, because you respect the jungler. You banned out the Fanny because you respect the jungler. That's two ban respecting the jungler. Why did you ban out the Arlot on the third one? If you're gonna commit to it, just commit fully and ban out the Hayabusa too, because that's the other assassin that he obviously plays. Because if you have, to know that the opponent plays Fanny, you've obviously done your research, right? You're not gonna ban Fanny out of nowhere, right? That's not how you're supposed to do it. If you're doing it, that's kind of a really bad thing to do. But yeah, they've definitely done the research. They should have just banned out the Hayabusa and that's either traded the Yushin Shin or picked up something else. Because were they afraid that the Yushin Shin would get picked? If that was the case, then I'm not really sure. They do need to have some response, or else the Reaper will rip through them. But yeah, hopefully into the next game though, like the draft should start as soon as possible. So yeah, into the next game, I do hope they ban out the Hayabusa and they can come in with a little bit of a better response, because of course one-sided games can be a little bit boring as well as a little bit stale, because of course we want constant action. We want full on like this. Full on neck-to-neck competition. But yeah, overall this game was pretty one-sided, despite the fact that the draft felt like it was obviously into the favor of TSG. It felt like TSG came in a little bit short-handed. But yeah, hoping the best for them. Would love to see a game number 3 as well. But let's see if the side of Incognito can make a clean sweep. We should be going into the draft as soon as possible, and let's see what game 2 entails us, Fredo.
Yep, let's see what goes into the second game, as the second game will be starting shortly. But talking about the last game, once again, it's not really the best experience to be witnessing one-sided matches. I do hope that some grass can show better competition next time. The draft was definitely good. But the thing is, even with that, like you said, that was the main point. If you are respecting a jungler, just respect him completely. Why did you leave that Hayabusa open? Yeah. And on top of that, they decide to go for the Zushin and give them the Hayabusa, which means
yeah, exactly.
You're inviting trouble. Why? Why would you do that? So kind of a sussy thing to do. Actually, I don't know why they decided to do that.
It was a very mixed bag, because first of all,
and
you're picking up a hero that is obviously, you're picking up an assassin who, sorry, you're banning out the assassins because you're afraid that the assassin can dominate. And you pick up a hero that's weak to a certain assassin, and then you don't ban him.
Yeah.
It's just a little confusing. So I hope they can make a little bit better decision this time around, because we do wish them the best. We want to see a little bit better competition. So come on, touch some grass. You gotta stay indoors. You gotta play. you ain't gotta commit, bro. But yeah, let's see. Game number 2 on the table. Let's see what happens.
Exactly. Let's see what happens in the second match. Let's see if Touch Some Grass can make a comeback or not. They're sitting and still waiting, and we are also waiting for them to show up. But because they have not shown up, they lost the first game of the night 2-0. They are once here again. And will they lose this time? That is the question. Once again, will it be a 2-0 clean sweep over Touch Some Grass? They ban out the Fanny once again, respecting Mr. Reaper. But the thing is, this time they would like to respect the Hayabusa as well. I don't really think this hero should be causing that much of a problem, Ray. Maybe they just do not know how to counter it.
I do think one thing is that comfort picks. Reaper is most likely comfortable with the Hayabusa, so they had a little bit of a hard time. Not to mention they did not actually have any concrete CC. If you actually look into it into last game, who was the roamer again?
Gatot.
Yeah, Gatot is not exactly the most. You can, but yeah. To be fair, if we go back to the main point, the execution fell short. The Outlaw band a little skeptical, but hopefully, if since their first pick up the Hayabusa. If you're not gonna ban out, just pick up the Hayabusa or pick up the Lancelot and just have a solid counter, because the Reaper obviously gave you a lot of issues. You're banning out the Fanny again in respect of his name, so make sure you respect the Hayabusa as well.
I think they could have went for the Fredrin when the enemy picked up the Hayabusa, but they did not really went for that, right? They went instantly lock in for the Yisen Shin along with the Zushin. That was kind of I don't know what to say. Yeah, they could have went for the Fredrin, maybe hero pool gap, I guess.
I mean, it is possible. They are underdogs, right? I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Even some top teams have hero pool issues. I do hope that Indian teams, I hope they can have a vast hero pool really soon enough. I've actually seen a lot of players suffer from this one. I obviously won't name them, but you already know. Few players suffer from that hero pool thing. If you just ban out their three main heroes, they're shaking in their boots, because what else am I gonna be picking up? And that's why I do think people need to have a vast hero pool. But this time around, just like we discussed, at least even if they're not banning out the Hayabusa, they pick up Lancelot for themselves. The thing between Lancelot and Hayabusa, either of them can counter each other, but cooldown gap. If you click that skill before the other one uses the ultimate, you're doomed. So they have to watch out. It's more micro. It's more micro on that hand. But with it, we're going to be coming in TSG versus Incognito. Both of these underdog teams, let's see who can make it to, of course, who stays in the competition and who does not. Because it's a knockout at this point. Lower brackets, no more second chances. Incognito, what's going to be your option? You have Hayabusa, you have Yushin, you have Zushin, you have Kadita, you have Granger, you have Irrital. There's so many options on the table for you. What do you really go for? What is your choice? You can even actually go for the Kalia, because easy picking for the Lancelot. Once he uses the second skill, go boom, because his ultimate has a delay. They go with a Luoi and a Phoebus. Phoebus is good. Why Luoi though?
I don't feel so good. Yeah, Luoi kind of skeptical here, as you don't really see this as a first pick option, right? Varsa was open, Adita was open, which are one of the most commonly used heroes these days, but they go for a Luoi instead, and now that some grass are going to pick up something. I feel like the Kadita can do a solid job here. What?
They pick up Belleric because they're grass.
Oh yeah, they could pick up a Belleric actually. Because they have grass in there. Oh, nice one. That is a good... But the thing is, even with good draft, I'm not really sure if they can perform,
Okay. Looks like there was slight error. Phoebus actually is for the hands of... Or what? How did Phoebus come into the future? How did we see him on Incognito before he was placed? Yeah, there might be an error. There might have been an error, but yeah.
Whatever it was, man, this draft is looking good. This draft is looking good once again. But the thing is, and the issue and the problem and the entire concept of Touch Some Grass is they always seem to have good drafts, but bad execution.
Esmeralda, a good counter. Not exactly counter, but since she does not have a dash, I mean, her ultimate is a dash, but you're not spamming her ultimate, are you? She's going to be able to lane against Phoebus really well. Not to mention, Phoebus has a shield whenever he activates his ultimate, so Esmeralda can really sustain well. This is a good pick from Incognito. The Ling, I am a little bit doubtful, but just like I said, it's not just all... I mean, the draft is most of the time But the fact that Incognito, even with a draft that we doubted, actually were able to come out on top. So I do have a little bit of more trust. Let's see if they can make the Ling work, which is not exactly the most optimal against the Lancelot, because Lancelot loses the purple, he's still going to be able to dash 5-6 times. Ling loses the purple, he's gone. He's demoted to Zilong, which is funny if you know that story, you know.
No, I think a Zilong can do better than a Link, bro. Without with whatever. I mean, Ling is too bad, bro. Without the blue buff, he can. All he can do is try to do macro, you know, because he has the ult to escape. He has Finch Poise to escape. So that might be the only thing that the Link can do without his buff. He cannot really take fights at all, unless he's like super farmed or something. So yeah, that's the way the Link works. So Incognito, a lot of pressure on them to execute the early game well and get their jungler farmed. But it'll all come down to the goal lane as well, actually. How good the goal lane plays. And in the second phase, we have seen 3 goal lane bans happening. So that just shows that Incognito have their options reduced, but they still have their option to maybe pick up what can we say? I don't really see any good options left. Okay, they go for the carry, which is okay. I feel like the Moskov should be coming in. Yeah, Moskov was definitely an option against the Link.
Fredo, do check. I don't know. I feel like your voice became a little bit muffled. So do check. The second thing is... say something.
Hello, is it audible now?
Yeah, it is slightly muffled, but yeah, it was pretty muffled back then. It is slightly better. Yeah. But one thing is for sure that both of these streams draft and everything. Oh, okay, they come up with the Grok. The Grok pick is flicker play if you can do it. Amazing right onto the table. But if you only go for the ultimate, which does become a little bit predictable, it's easy to counter out because they can dash away, not to mention. But yeah, it is carry who doesn't exactly have the biggest jump in the game. So yeah, so welcome back, Fredo. Test your mic, 1 2 3.
Hello.
Okay, it's better a little bit now. But yeah, Fredo, you were saying that earlier today you want to see a little bit of creativity. I like Incognito. They're doing a little bit creativity, not exactly going for the first game they could have picked up anything, but they went for the Moskov and stuff, right? Melissa, and then they picked up the carry. So they're going a little bit creative. So I would give props to them. They even picked up the
Franco.
Esmeralda, and Franco back into the action. But yeah, one thing, Grok is here this time around. One thing about Grok, if you can do the flicker ult, boom, you're S tier roamer. If you can't do the flicker roam, you're a little predictable. They see you coming in.
Exactly. So that's why Incognito will be the one who has to execute better. Once again, with this draft, they do trust their roamer, I guess, with this Franco. But the main problem is, good teams do know how to play against the Franco. Usually the Franco, he is forced to give space when you move ahead. And that's where you can capitalize as an enemy roamer. But for that, you do need to go ahead, right? But I don't really think that's some grass. Looking at their last match, the way they played it, I'm not really sure if they can play the same way. I mean, they can play better this time, even with this draft that they have, which is so good, okay? This is flawless from their side. This graphic, there's no weak points. You have to win, but I don't know, for some reason they lost the last one, so I'm not really confident even with this good draft that they have right now, if they can win this or not.
Makes sense, right? Because there is a few counter picks. The 2 counter picks is, of course, I mean, actually, that's actually a good thing about team compositions and everything. Franco can counter the Lancelot technically by, ulting him, disabling him down. Carry can counter the Phobius by dishing out so much true damage that the Phobius will not be able to recover. Esmeralda cannot be bursted out easily, so she can take care of the Kadita. But yeah, the Moskov will have to handle it. So yeah, it's going to be a rock, paper, scissors game, but let's see who wins it out in the end. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. This might be the final one, or we might say game number 3 if the side of Touch Some Grass can step up this time around. But let's say Incognito with 1 match point in their hands, looking for a clean sweep. Can they make it happen? Or TSG will make it stop? Let's see. into the casting desk myself, Ray, and I'm joined by Fredo. And with it, a little bit of invasion over there. Nothing much out of the ordinary. But oh, Franco also going to do the same most likely. Maybe not.
Yeah, Franco is of course an annoying roamer who does like to dominate in the early game with his good iron hooks, but if he fails to do that, he cannot really put too much pressure in. Oh, early game though. Pajama Boy gets that gold crab, just a slight lead though. Provides way less gold than before the update. For some reason, Grok is deep inside the enemy territory. Some trouble, forced to use that flicker.
This Louis skin, that MGL artwork. Kudos to whoever artist designed it. The ultimate is really beautiful. I mean, the skin, the model is really beautiful, but the ultimate is really beautiful too. Yeah. But overall, 0-for-0 score, of course. Looking for the first blood. Grok doesn't have the flicker anymore, so he should watch his steps actually. He shouldn't be going too deep, because if he gets hooked or something, he's gone. He doesn't have the flicker anymore. For next 190 seconds, he better watch out his move. Right now, the assassins, both swordsmen, onto the bottom lane. Oh, what? Who got it? Who got it?
Not really sure about that, bro.
Both of them one dashed.
Yeah, it did seem like it was the Lancelot. For me, because he just picked up his boots,
Yeah.
Or maybe the Ling is not prioritizing his boots. Anything can happen, but for now. Oh, it seems like they're getting zoned away from the turtle. Can Lancelot arrive and make a magic happen right now? Retribution battle coming in. Oh, it's actually the Phobias who gets it. Both the junglers miss out on that one. And now the Louis will get chased down by Skibidi, and Skibidi will be the one taking that kill. Things are looking in favor of Touch Some Grass in the first few minutes of the match. But can they continue this? That will be the question.
Earlier today I saw Incognito playing. Their member was called Phaeton. So I don't know why the Skibidi got added, or it's another member with the Skibidi in their name. But yeah, overall a 2-0 score. This time around, Touch Some Grass, obviously capitalizing on the fact that their draft is better, and obviously the Phobias came in clutch, not to mention even the Khadita dishes out enough damage to make sure the Louis gets taken down. That is actually one of the criticisms. Of course, Incognito, Louis is a little odd choice, except for the diversion that can give you a little bit of edge, surprise plays. Not exactly surprise play, because right now you can actually see where the Louis is coming in, because obviously that's the nerf that Louis received, unfortunately. So that's the whole reason actually. Oh, Ling!
Whoa!
You got Skibidi.
Yeah, Ling got Skibidi by Skibidi Phaeton, and Skibidi Phaeton is actually playing a really solid game with this Khadita right now.
Khadita technically is like a whirlpool, right? And toilets have whirlpools, so it's Skibidi.
Oh my god. Oh, but someone is getting bloody hunted in that mid lane bush. For some reason, nobody arrived to give backup. And now the Ling wants to go in, it seems. SOD arrives, but will there be... Oh, that's a nice knockup from the Grok. 4 people getting knocked up there. And now the Ling. Xing Xing coming in from Rang Rang. And Rang Rang does the Xing Xing and takes some people down. And now... Seems like Touch Some Grass have finally touched some grass. And they are about to roll things right now, because oh my god, that is a very satisfying Grok ultimate, bro.
Yeah, they actually stopped touching grass. They're locked in their rooms right now. That's what you should do if you want to be a gamer. No more grass for you. But oh, another ultimate comes in. Abhi, does he get taken down? Yep, he does get taken down. Another turtle into the hands of Touch Some Grass. Loving that they're stepping up, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Incognito draft is also quite questionable, so it's no surprise that they're struggling. Louis is not going to be able to do anything until the later phases where she can ult frequently. Even then, just like I mentioned, right now you can see. And Moskov, level 7, already having the advantage. Mandar really getting zoned right now.
But the thing is, backup is arriving here. Oh, backup arrives very well. 2 people get knocked up, and with that, the Grok is playing a very big role in this team fights. But they come back and they crack everything open from behind as the carry is chasing them down. And now, Touch Some Grass are forced to back. They lose 2 important members in the process. Lancelot should have been there in the fight, and the Moskov should have pushed, but it was the opposite actually that happened.
Well, okay, they still have their lead. I guess they can afford it. 73 score right now. 1,000 gold lead, not much. Oh, let's look at the itemization. Louis gets the first item, so does his Lancelot. Most of the members, everybody except for the roamers, have their first in slot. Franco most likely gonna go for that fleeting time. Yeah, fleeting time. Marksman, same itemization as well. But what's happening on top lane? Len better watch out.
4v1, and he cannot survive that because it is suppression that he has to deal with. And with that, okay, for a moment I thought Carry might be able to do an outplay 3v1. But unfortunately he will die as well. So of course side lane is getting traded. In the mid lane though, the Lancelot is dealing with the Esmeralda. Esmeralda seems to be having the upper hand. But of course one turret advantage will be given, I guess. But okay, Phobius will arrive on time. And with that, there's blue buff in contention right now, I guess. But they will decide not to engage. Last turtle of the game coming up. Let's see who gets this one and who takes a significant lead after this turtle fight.
Absolutely. 8-4 score right now, and we're going to be seeing, not enough damage coming in from, of course, Louis. Kadita Pure Burst having so much advantage into those team fights. Not sure how Ling can come in, but let's see. Team fight on. Look at that. Ling. Tempest of Blade soon. Nah.
Oh, Rang does not allow them to do that. Does not allow them to show dominance, but now Esmeralda might be in some trouble. But she is able to use the sprint to run away, but that wall just blocks her away. She's forced to back behind. But she does have a lot of healing, a lot of shield to try and sustain every single thing that's thrown off at her. And the thing is, there isn't really enough burst except if the Moskov decides to come for the fight. As for the Esmeralda, is pretty safe.
As long as Moskov doesn't join the team fight, she's gonna be having her time. Moment Moskov joins, it's gonna be over. Oh, Pajama Boy though gets that golden staff. The core item for the carry to dish out the maximum damage. Right now, carry can go for the rose gold because, of course,
2v1.
what's happening?
Moskov out of position.
Flicker.
Might be in some trouble here. Flickers away, but can he still survive? Carry wants to go in. That's a lot of burst from the carry. And the golden staff finally comes into play. Pajama Boys get that kill. In the mid lane though, they take one down as well. And it's going to be the Loi, but now the Reaper does have the ult. Does he want to commit though? Oh my god, that is a nice use of the fast hands. But Ran comes out on top. It's a killing spree for the Lancelot, and things are looking good.
Damn.
And in favor of some grass again. That was a nice Phantom execution. Right timing.
That was close one. It was one or the other, and he won it out. That is insane. Damn, bro. Where maybe they made a mistake not betting out the Lancelot, because look at that. Rang with the Xing takes down the Louis.
Pajama Boy. Pajama Boy though right now he's online as well, and he's dishing out a lot of damage. So it's about time Phaeton does his job once again and takes down that carry.
Absolutely. Or at least Moskov can do the same. Both of them have the same items right now. Both of them have corrosion and golden stuff, but of course carry is stronger with the golden stuff because due to her passive she hits twice as hard. And until the Moskov can get the DHS and he can hit twice as hard, the carry will show a little bit of dominance. But since the Lancelot is all the way over there, if someone could, what do you say? Distract the Lancelot, even for a little while, carry can easily take the Lord. But oh, look at that, the Kadita, the fish coming in.
Don't really know what this fight is all about. And with that, seems like the knockup is coming in as well. And into the backlines, the carry might be in some trouble. The Lancelot still survives. Moskov connects. But can he make and turn things around for his teammates? Moskov seems like it's too late to the party for him, and there will be the enemy is taking 3 kills in front of him. And with that, now the favor of the game, the favor and the flow and everything else goes into the hands of Incognito.
No Lancelot, they can take this Lord pretty easy.
Kadita though. Kadita, we all know how a Kadita works, right? He can try to steal this one.
He's trying to do that, but nah, retribution on point. They don't get it, they should retreat. But then, is he trying to look for something? Nah, he doesn't have the purple. He's smart. No purple, no Gemo. Go back, go. But yeah, let's look at the itemization. Oh, carry with the triple item. Having the advantage over the Moskov right now, but Moskov will get it in like 200 gold too. So yeah, look at that. He is also Trinity built on. But the difference is carry is stronger with the Trinity build due to her passive stacking. But let's see the rest of the members.
Okay.
With the endless battle. I would have preferred Blade of Despair.
Yeah, I would have too. But oh, there comes. They do not commit though. Lancelot, he can still take all those hits. I don't really know. For some reason, the Moscow decided to use the SOD onto the top lane side. And now he's forced to deal with the bot lane actually. Ling cannot really go in versus a Moscow. So yeah. But now the carry might be creating problems here for his Lancelot. That is a lot of damage. If they do not deal with the carry, soon enough it will be too late.
Ayo.
Oh,
Oh my god. No way. No way. Ling.
he committed completely there.
Yeah.
And Bloody Hand coming in as well. Would they survive this? They survive this and they're able to turn this fight around because it's Moscow who is hitting the Esmeralda. And there it comes. The SOD has landed, but does he want to go in? He does not. Oh, blood.
Louis left him. Louis left.
Oh my god, that is crazy. Now the carry might go down as well. Oh my god.
What? Louis
just happened? I
teleported
don't-
away, bro.
Oh my
Straight
god.
up.
What just happened there?
Bro, he could have
Betrayal.
teleported to Franco and carry away. What?
That is some crazy stuff happening. But yeah, that is what happens when you trust your Louis too much, I guess. Oh, the Ling actually gets away with the blue buff. They could have taken that blue buff inside the bush, you know.
Yeah, they should have.
There
But damn, that was
no
a
one
heavy
around.
cost. Carry got shut down. That.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold actually, which went to the hands of Tatsum Grass. But I mean, it's kind of in the mid game right now, so the gold should be mattering
Yeah.
a little bit
Yeah,
less.
carry.
But yeah, it's still good enough. So yeah, carry does not go for the Wind of Nature, going for the Malefic
would-
Gun instead.
I would prefer 100%. Malefic Gun should be your last item. Like, you should sell your boots and then get it. For one reason, first of all,
Yeah.
yes, carry can get range, but carry has short range. Short range on 12% is like barely anything. Second, penetration on carry, it's not going to affect you much. You're dealing 2 damage anyways. You don't care about penetration. Third thing, for carry, survival is the most important thing. Oh, but look at that. Moskov wants to go for 1v1. Wind of Nature
Wind of
deployed.
Nature comes in. Oh, there comes the flicker play, and he will get that kill. And there is no trouble for Moskov. And yeah, of course, if he gets enough vision, he can definitely push down the far side. It will be a man advantage, but the Phobius will fall, and another hook coming in. Now things are not looking in their favor. SOD lands, they come in, they take that Lord. Now they're going in for the kills, they're going in for the Esmeralda. Esmeralda is too late for you to back off, it seems. But, oh, he might be able to turn things around here, but the Thorn Rose takes him down. And now once again, Tatsum Grass seem to be in control.
Is my internet okay, Fred? I'm not lagging, right? But yeah, Divine Glaive for both mages, but Karita having the upper hand. I mean, the thing with Louis, she's good against, if you pick up against, let's say, their jungler is Fredrin. Fredrin is slow. You can easily yin-yang combo him and just stun him around. Not to mention, you can even stun his backside. In this game, Karita is CC immune, Lancelot can immune. So I don't get it. I do think that Louis pick was kind of wasted in this game, and not to mention the few hiccups that were made. It really pushed him back, but at least they done. Oh, Ling, why do you want to go for that revenge, man? Stop going for 1 versus 1.
Well, at least I think it's more about the macro, right? Both these heroes, they're definitely macro heroes in the late game, so that's why they're trying. Oh, look at the Kadita into the back lines. Nice targeting onto Pajama Boy, and now that Grok as well. Those knockups are insane. They're going all in now, but there comes the Bloody Hand. The Grok will fall, I feel like, but no, it will be the Lancelot actually was taking that Bloody Hand, and with that, it's a 3-4-3. I mean, it's a 2-4-2 trade. 3 members still alive, but the Moskov can definitely turn things around.
Absolutely. And the thing is, Pajama Boy can too. This is what I was saying. Instead of the Malefic Gun, he could have gone for a Rose Gold, man. He's still not going for a Rose Gold. He should pay respect to the Kadita right now. Because
yeah, Kadita can actually just burst him down.
On 6. Yeah,
I
Wind
mean,
of Nature is good. But okay, he
yeah,
sold boots. Good. Should get Rose Gold.
And if you think about it, you know, that Louis is not really doing too much in this game. Even though she does have 10 assists, I don't really think the impact of the Louis has been too much. But on the other side, Kadita, not really involved in too many fights, but she is picking up the right targets. So that is all that matters, right? She is here to deal with the mage or the marksman, and she is dealing with it. And that's why the fact that she wiped out the carry in that last fight is the reason why they were able to win it out. Because otherwise, it's really difficult for Incognito to fight without the carry because there's literally no source of damage. The Link cannot really do too much in the late game because you're going up against. Okay, that is a wrong push to go inside. Mr. Len, he has to be more careful.
Yeah, that was a bad decision. I mean, when there's a Franco, you should be wary of a push because it's a full-on destruction over there. But oh, look at that. Kadita retreats, but oh, is this a fight? Do they want to take it?
Esmeralda still knows that she can take all that damage because there is no Moskov. Moskov does connect the SOD, but it is in a wrong position. She do not want to take that fight. Oh, Franco comes in with the bloody hunt and the knockup comes in as well. That is a nice one, but the Kadita will still fall. Can that Grok survive? Oh, he does. No, he doesn't. The light wheels will get to him.
And they take him down right now with a 22-17 score, but looks like Oh, another hook. Do they get him? He survives. He survives. No light wheel bounces to him. But right now with it, looks like the pressure is going to be building up. Look at the damage being dished out as well. Moscow wants to go in, but he can't exactly go for it right now. And the Reaper is going to be really suffering. And with it, let's take a look into it. The Lord is up. Okay, did they take the Lord? Did they take the solo Lord? But yeah, look at that. The minions are there. Rose gold finally for the Moscow. But Carrie, what is that? Where is your rose gold, mate? He should respect the Kadita, man.
Yeah, honestly, I think the Kadita needs to teach the carry a lesson or something. Pajama Boy, too arrogant at this point, not showing any respect, even though he knows twice out of those 3 kills, out of those 3 deaths that he suffered were from twice. 2 of them were from the Kadita. So, and he knows that his team is depending on him right now. He does have the vengeance though, but yeah, he does have the vengeance though. But vengeance, I mean, if he can petrify you, what will the use of that vengeance?
Exactly. You won't get a chance to press it. You'll get bursted out of the competition. But oh, look at that, coming in with the conceal again. 1v1 on the top, but for now we have to focus into the Lord Pit. Lancelot not able to come back. Let's see what's gonna happen. Carry dishing out the damage.
Who comes in and with that carry will get taken down. Told you exactly, Ray. We told them, but of course they are not hearing us. But oh, now Moskov, time for you to shine. But can he make it happen? Moskov decides to go in, piercing through everyone. The damage does come as well. Now he can go in for every single one, but the base is wide open and he cannot really make it happen. Oh, Wind of Nature goes on cooldown, but the Ling does not have energy as well, so he'll be able to back off for now.
Yeah. This is just like Carrie could have ended the game. Carrie could have ended the game if she only had the rose gold. Okay, fine, no rose gold, immortality, man. If Carrie survived, obviously she has lifesteal. She could have regenerated back by fighting, but she's getting. She's making the same mistake again and again, buddy. Pajama boy, put on that pajama called rose gold on yourself, man, because you're getting completely violated by a fish. You don't want that to be happening, buddy. I mean, of course, it's not that we're trying to side with you either of the team, but it feels
Pajama
bad.
boy.
Micro bad plays. They're doing everything good. The base is exposed. They could have won it, but the carry just got bursted out because of wrong itemization right now. Simply.
Exactly, and along with that, if you think about it, the carry is also using a fish skin.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is what I was about to say. Yeah.
The big.
But now the Moskov can actually try to make macro plays happen. They do have the low E though as an answer, but and even the Ling, right? But the Ling cannot really go again. Another bloody hunt coming in. There comes a knockup, but is it enough? There is no backup arriving, and with that, the carry now free hitting. Oh, another bloody hunt might be coming in. The flicker out though. Skibidi Payton will get deleted before he can make that combo happen, and the Grok might fall down as well. Now 3 members down, just 2 remaining. The Moskov, it's too late, I guess. Oh, the Moskov gets bloody hunted. He will definitely get shut down here. Item swaps won't happen as it's too late now. It's a shutdown being secured there by the low E. Lancelot, can he save the day? Can he be the hero that his teammates need? Well, he can try all his best, but there are just too many minions to deal with.
Absolutely. It is a little bit of an anticlimactic end. I'm gonna be honest. It felt a little bit, but still, congrats. to
Turtle
Incognito.
slain.
Yeah. Turtle slain. There was no box yet though, but yeah, still, Incognito will get a 2 pointers right now, and with that, it's gonna be what is it again? What was it? Oh yeah, look at that. Good gameplay. Good gameplay from TSG this time around. They played. The draft was good, and they actually delivered this time around. They played really good. Everything was really nice. Karita, really great efforts. Not to mention Rangrang on the land slot. Really did a good job this time around. 10 kills, all done by him. He went in alone, took a lot of targets out. He actually won against the Ling, like solo twice. And he was able to save his base twice as well. But overall, obviously Incognito will be getting the game because I do think that Louis was very underwhelming. I'm going to be honest with you, Mandar. Like, that Louis is not working out very... Like, this was not a Louis game. Maybe there was something, but we did not see any highlights. Mostly it was the carry dishing out the most of the damage. Of course, DMC Amitabh will get the MVP because he was fighting all alone by 3 or 4 members most of the time because Moskov was far lane and he could not dish out the damage, and Esmeralda was just having her time of her life. Other than that, obviously the highlight is going to be the carry, but we have to take Abhi 342. This guy hooked a lot, especially Len. 10 deaths. This is all Franco's doing. So yeah, overall, that was it. Great gameplay this time around from obviously Touch Some Grass. They stepped it up. We expected and they delivered. Unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to them. This is their end of the journey in Nerd 3.0 as an underdog team, but they have already went through multiple of their rounds. So congrats for being one of the stronger teams, for making it to the top 4. Of course, there were 256 teams, but you guys were the only top 4 once. So you basically defeated, in a way, you're above 252, right? So good job from Touch Some Grass, and congrats for Incognito for still staying in the competition, being the 3rd team, still staying alive. Right, Fredo?
Yes, and with that, we have come to the end of today's stream. And of course, the team which will be eliminated will be saying goodbye is going to be Touch Some Grass. Incognito will be moving ahead. And with that, we should say our good nights. It's too late.
Yeah,
Go to
absolutely.
sleep and do not repeat the mistakes that Touch Some Grass did.
But yeah, great job, Touch Some Grass. And of course, congrats to Incognito. Great executions. But please, carry. Check out that itemization, man. Check out that itemization. But overall, yeah. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at obviously 7 p.m. Do tune in back on Wadrum Games. Good night. Take care and sleep well.
Where is my target? Who served the light while working in the dark? Truly wise man will not tell you the truth. Give me names and I will give you blood. Fate forced me to become an assassin. One life is just enough. What's the truth? He serves the light while working in the dark.
Follow the bell across the river of oblivion.
Mercy to shepherd the world, wrath to quell the wicked.
Life? Death? I come and go as I please!